Chapter 562. After that battle, his path had been very smooth, with not a single obstacle blocking his way. Linley didn't have to worry about this at all. Ha ha ha, woo woo woo. At this moment, when he reached the end of the road to the underworld, Lin Ray looked at the dark vortex in front of him. He knew that as long as he got out of there, he would be able to reach the world of spirits and souls. But the road was so flat and there were no waves. Lin Ray didn't believe that it was still flat until now. Whoosh! The sound of a spear instantly spread throughout the road to the underworld. Pang Hong's spear intent soared into the sky as if it wanted to tear the space in front of it into pieces. At this moment, Lin Ray held the Chaos Dragon spear tightly in his hand. His face was full of vigilance as he took slow steps toward the vortex 100 meters ahead. He released his divine sense to explore every movement in the surroundings in case something happened that caught him off guard. Not good, kid. The tide of 10,000 ghosts. You're in trouble now. Just when Lin Ray was being cautious, the little dragon's urgent voice suddenly came out. Suddenly, Lin Ray was stunned on the spot and didn't know what to do. He understood the meaning of the tide of 10,000 ghosts mentioned by the little dragon. However, only the little dragon knew what it meant in the past few years. What's going on? Hurry up and say it. Hearing the question, the little dragon in the system instantly appeared in front of Lin Ray and explained anxiously. The tide of 10,000 ghosts is the same as the tide of beasts. It literally means that 10,000 ghosts are moving out. Moreover, the strength of each ghost is unparalleled. Hearing the little dragon's explanation, Lin Ray's expression changed dramatically. If it was really like what the little dragon said, then it would be troublesome. Moreover, I said it literally, but the actual situation is more complicated than that. There is no lack of ghosts who want to seize a body and be reborn. What do you think the chances of you surviving this tide of 10,000 ghosts are? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray's heart was beating like a drum. He was helpless about this matter. If it was one or two ghosts, it would be fine. But now, he was facing the tide of 10,000 ghosts that even the gods didn't want to encounter. Tell me, what should I do? Since you already know, then hurry up and think of a way. After all, I've never seen the 10,000 ghost tide before. Moreover, you're the one who decides. With my current strength, how much can I resist and what are my chances of survival? The little dragon, who had been listening to Lin Ray the whole time, naturally knew that Lin Ray couldn't resist the tide of 10,000 ghosts. Hee, it's not like there's no way. Hearing this, Lin Ray's eyes lit up. With a smile, he came to the little dragon's side and hugged the little dragon's arm. He began to act coquettishly. "Io, little dragon, hurry up and tell me. You see, the Een energy here is getting stronger and stronger. I'm in a very dangerous situation now. Hurry up and tell me." Ugh, looking at Lin Ray's actions, the little dragon looked at him with disgust. In the end, he couldn't help but hold his stomach and pretend to vomit. Ugh. Ugh, the sound was so real that Lin Ray knew that the little dragon found him disgusting. "TSK, alright, hurry up and tell me. If you don't tell me, I'll disgust you to death." Looking at Lin Ray's appearance, the little dragon smiled helplessly. "Hee, I really don't know what to do with you." Looking at the little dragon's appearance, Lin Ray knew that as long as the little dragon showed this expression, the next thing was basically set. "Hurry up and tell me, hurry up and tell me." Lin Ray looked at the little dragon anxiously. At this moment, the helpless little dragon said to Lin Ray, "Previously, before I went into seclusion, I asked the system how long it would take to upgrade the system's power. It was supposed to take a few months, but after so many years, the system still hasn't broken through. The reason is partly because of me, and partly because of you." "What? Me?" Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray was somewhat puzzled. He didn't understand the meaning behind it. Then, Lin Ray looked at the little dragon with a doubtful gaze, wanting to ask the meaning behind it. Looking at Lin Ray's puzzlement, the little dragon quickly explained the reason why the system didn't break through. Back then, for you, I didn't hesitate to use all of your assistance. After that, I went into seclusion. Originally, I wouldn't have woken up so quickly, but because of the system, I was able to absorb the spiritual energy from the outside and solidify my soul. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei nodded gratefully, but he was still somewhat puzzled about his own situation. What about me? You, ha. Looking at Lin Rei, the little dragon chuckled, then said, didn't the Soul Eater erase a portion of your memories before? Actually, he wanted to erase them completely, but because the system used the power of the breakthrough to hold on to the memories in your mind, you must know that you're the master. Without your permission, the system would have no idea what the consequences would be. But if he didn't do so, he knew that you would definitely regret it, so. Hearing this, Lin Rei was completely stunned. Originally, he always thought that his memories weren't erased because there were no combat techniques or cultivation methods in them. But now that the little dragon's matter had stopped, that wasn't the case at all. Some things were silently helped by the system behind the scenes. Then now, Lin Rei was a little worried about the system at this moment. He didn't know what to say. Don't worry, the system is fine. It's just that the stored energy from before has disappeared, so if you want to break through, you'll need a lot of power. At this point, the little dragon couldn't help but wink at Lin Rei, as if hinting at something. Huh. It was the same for the little dragon. Lin Rei saw it but didn't understand what it was doing. Little dragon, your face is cramping. Seeing Lin Rei like this, the little dragon was helpless. It immediately rolled its eyes at Lin Rei, then said, isn't there a ready-made energy in front of you right now? As long as you refine all the ghosts in the tide of 10,000 ghosts, you can imagine that, in addition to the newly stored energy of the New Year greeting system, it won't take long for you to break through to level 3. Hearing this, Lin Rei suddenly understood why the little dragon was winking at him just now. Although this idea was good, it wasn't that easy to devour the energy of 10,000 ghosts. Compared to this, Lin Rei had a headache. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon knew why he was worried. Then, its expression relaxed, and with a wave of its hand, a golden policy appeared in front of Lin Rei. At the same time, the little dragon's voice sounded. This is the art of rebirth. It's a Buddhist technique. As long as you cultivate it, you can transform 10,000 ghosts into pure energy. Think about it, won't you be able to let the system absorb it then? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei's eyes lit up. Then, he squinted at the golden policy floating in the air in front of him. His eyes were full of splendor. Ding dong, discovered a saint-level technique, art of rebirth. Would the host like to cultivate it? Before Lin Rei could make a decision, the system's cold, electronic voice appeared. Suddenly, for some reason, Lin Rei nodded in agreement. Cultivate it. After saying this sentence, Lin Rei frowned. He wanted to go back on his words, but it was already too late. Ding dong, injecting the art of rebirth into the host. Please wait a moment, what's done can't be undone. It was too late to go back on his words. At this moment, some unfamiliar memories suddenly appeared in his mind. Looking at a section of the technique that calmed his heart, Lin Rei's expression was very shocked. From the technique, he could see that this technique was definitely a divine work. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for cultivating the first layer of the art of rebirth. If you want to break through, you need to speed up your cultivation. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei clenched his fist. Suddenly, a boundless golden Buddhist power appeared. Some of the spells that he had seen in the world where he lived before appeared on his fist. At this moment, Lin Rei felt that the power in his body was a great help to this place. He even had an impulse to sit down on the road to the underworld and use the Buddhist power to cleanse himself thoroughly. Feeling this, Lin Rei quickly suppressed the impulse in his heart. Then, he hurriedly operated the chaotic sky scroll to suppress the Buddhist power in his body. Phew, feeling that the impulse in his heart had completely calmed down, Lin Rei let out a long breath and slowly stood up from the ground. How is it? This technique is amazing, right? It can let a killer have such Buddhist power. Hee hee. Regarding Lin Rei's actions, how could the little dragon, as the system's artifact spirit, not know? Regarding the killer mentioned by the little dragon, he knew that he had made a lot of people stupid, but those people had done things that he couldn't tolerate. In comparison, Lin Rei didn't regret it. However, he still liked the art of rebirth in his body. After all, this technique wasn't something that anyone could obtain. Ha ha ha, at this moment, the gloomy laughter from before sounded again. After hearing it, Lin Rei quickly became vigilant. Alright, as long as you don't go within 50 meters of the entrance, the 10,000 ghosts tide won't find you. Oh. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei was a little puzzled. Fortunately, he still relaxed. The 10,000 ghosts tide can be said to be a guardian of the road to the underworld. As long as you don't go near the entrance, then you'll be fine. Of course, as long as you go within 50 meters of the entrance, then there will be consequences. Speaking until here, the little dragon revealed a thought-provoking smile. Suddenly, Lin Rei's hair stood on end. Sigh. TSK, why do I have to encounter such things every time? Didn't I just want to save 2 people? Although he was harassing, Lin Rei never regretted it. His eyes were firmer than before. Alright, don't say things that don't mean. Hurry up and go in. You have to remember, the ghost realm isn't a place where you can stay. I have already prepared a teleportation circle for you. As soon as this matter is over, you can use the teleportation circle to quickly leave. You can't stay here for even half a second, do you hear me? Hearing the little dragon's cautious words, Lin Rei nodded without hesitation. I know, as long as I save the people I want to save, this place, I guess I don't want to stay here. Chapter 563. That's good. Alright, hurry up and go in. As long as the system is upgraded, the scripture pavilion will open. At that time, as long as you have enough exchange points or reputation points, you will be able to view all the cultivation techniques, combat techniques, movement techniques, spells, and everything else in the scripture pavilion. After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei took a step forward. The illusory spirit blood fire filled his entire body and surrounded Lin Rei. Just you wait. Now, I must upgrade the system. Not only for the hidden scriptures pavilion, but also for the system to help me hold on to my most precious memories. As he spoke, Lin Rei didn't stop. Not only that, but Lin Rei's footsteps were also increasing. At the same time, his gratitude towards the system turned into motivation. 30 meters, 20 meters, just when Lin Rei was 20 meters away from entering the 10,000 ghost tide, waves of ghostly wails, miserable roars, gloomy laughter, and all kinds of sounds that would cause people to panic appeared at this moment. As expected of the 10,000 ghost tide. We haven't even entered its range yet, but it's already giving off so much pressure. At this moment, when Lin Rei was 20 meters away, he found it difficult to move forward. The pressure brought by the 10,000 ghost tide could be said to be enormous. Do you think you can make me submit just like that? In your dreams. At this moment, the circulation of the chaos heavenly scripture was withdrawn. Instantly, the Buddhist power of the art of rebirth appeared. The moment the eerie ghost chi sensed the Buddhist power on Lin Rei's body, it began to slowly shrink back. Namo Amitba Yi Duo Tagado Yi, Duo Di Yi Amitba Pabai, the art of rebirth began to be chanted by Lin Rei over and over again. Because of this, the Buddhist power became stronger and stronger. It was so strong that the huge pressure just now disappeared in an instant. Feeling a little better, Lin Rei immediately began to move forward again. 15 meters, 10 meters, 5 meters, when it was 1 meter away, an eerie feeling that made one's hair stand on end involuntarily arose. Come. Let me take care of you. After saying that, Lin Rei took a step forward. Immediately, a satisfied scene appeared. He saw that all the people he had killed had appeared here. For example, the companions he had killed in Tianxian and all the people he had killed had appeared here. Seeing this, Lin Rei quickly closed his eyes and began to circulate his Buddhist power. Circles of golden Buddhist power began to extend out of Lin Rei's body, tightly wrapping Lin Rei in the golden light. At this moment, all the people that he had killed before were gone. Instead, some ghosts that he had never seen before appeared. There were so many of them that Lin Rei felt his scalp go numb. Humph, little fellow, you're pretty good. However, we're under orders to guard the entrance. Consider yourself retreating obediently. Otherwise, we won't be polite anymore. At this moment, tens of thousands of ghosts dissuaded Lin Rei in unison. Looking at them, Lin Rei was surprised, but he did not show any fear. Then, he said without fear, "Sorry, I have important matters to attend to in the world of spirits and souls. Therefore, this battle is unavoidable. Moreover, I need your energy. So, come on." After saying that, the chaotic dragon spear was instantly activated. Boundless Buddhist power instantly blessed the dragon spear. Suddenly, 9 azure dragons with Buddhist power appeared and began to kill in all directions. Humph, you don't know what's good for you. In that case, brothers, rush up and tear him apart. After saying that, tens of thousands of ghosts instantly moved out and swarmed in front of Lin Rei, wanting to tear him apart. However, at this moment, the Buddhist light on Lin Rei's body shone brightly. A transcendent energy instantly washed over the tens of thousands of ghosts. Ah! What? What is this? Why did the Yin power in my body disappear at this moment? What's going on? Mine too, no. It's not my energy. No, bastard, give it back to me, immediately. The energy that Lin Rei released to ferry their souls washed over each and every one of them. At this moment, some of them began to slowly transform from malicious ghosts. The moment they transformed, a strange energy appeared. However, Lin Rei was very familiar with it. Wasn't this the aura of the devouring heaven art that he cultivated? After pondering for a moment, Lin Li immediately understood. This was the system using its ability to convert these ghosts into streams of pure energy, which would help him level up. No. No. Don't. I don't dare anymore. Please, let me go. At this moment, feeling the destructive aura from the suction force, the ghost that had already been ferried immediately began to beg Lin Rei for mercy. However, the moment he pleaded, the suction force increased. In an instant, the ghost disappeared from this world. Lin Rei didn't feel soft-hearted at this scene. It wasn't that Lin Rei didn't want to plead for mercy. However, he knew that those who could appear here had killed before. Moreover, looking at the Yin power in their bodies, it was obvious what kind of person they were when they were alive. At this moment, after the ghosts saw how powerful Lin Rei was, they immediately panicked. Fear rose in their hearts. They were afraid of Lin Rei and felt empty in the face of that inexplicable power. They wanted to escape, but at this moment, they were surrounded by 9,000 feet long azure dragons. There was no space for them to escape. Humph, leave all of you for this sovereign to become nutrients for my system. With that, Lin Rei immediately increased the circulation of the art of rebirth. Suddenly, the golden Buddhist power increased and instantly enveloped the ghosts. It began to purify the Yin power in their bodies bit by bit, leaving only pure energy that wasn't contaminated by the Yin power. It wasn't just Lin Rei. When Lin Rei increased the purification of the energy, the system's suction force also increased and began to devour wildly. What was originally a drama between the hunter and the hunted had now been completely turned around. Time passed by slowly. At this moment, in the space above the system land, a long green strip was moving forward quickly. Hee, system, how is it? How long more until the breakthrough? Hearing the little dragon's voice, the system said, soon. As long as the ghosts outside are all devoured, we should be able to immediately break through. Not only that, when the ghosts are destroyed, the hidden mission will be completed. You're not helping me. You're just thinking from the perspective of the host. Hearing the system's words, Xiaolong chuckled and hurriedly hid his embarrassment. Alright, what's impossible about a win-win situation? Alright, don't say any more. Hurry up and devour. I'm going to sleep. With that, the little dragon left the system as if he was escaping and returned to his own place of cultivation. Time passed slowly, and the 10,000 ghosts in the outside world became fewer and fewer. After an unknown amount of time, the original 10,000 ghosts had been devoured by the system. Seeing that there were only a few left, Linley hurriedly used the last bit of energy left in his body. Come, let me purify you. This time, the system didn't devour these ghosts. Instead, Lin Rei directly purified them with his Buddhist power. Looking at the entrance of the life object, Lin Rei's body relaxed. At this moment, there was no more spiritual energy supporting his body and he instantly fell to the ground. Huff, 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 lying on the ground, Lin Rei breathed crazily. There was a comfortable feeling on his face. After using the art of rebirth for this period of time, he felt that he had a deeper understanding of the art of rebirth. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for refining the ghosts. You've obtained supreme merit and successfully completed the hidden mission. What, this is possible? Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei was a little stunned. He didn't expect that he would receive a hidden mission just by purifying the ghosts. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that this matter was all because of the little dragon's help. He was afraid that he wouldn't be able to complete this mission. Ding dong, host, do you accept the mission reward? Of course, you can also give up, accept. He knew what the system was going to say next. Lin Rei didn't wait for it to finish and directly answered. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for accepting the mission reward. Do you want to activate it now? Lin Rei was too lazy to answer this question. It was like this every time. Activate. Ding dong, activate the mission reward. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei's gaze was fixed on the screen that appeared in front of him. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for passing the Thunder Technique, God-level cultivation technique. Cultivate and mobilize the lightning of the Thunder Tribulation for your own use. Damn, this, looking at the Thunder Technique, Lin Rei was so excited that he couldn't speak. To be able to mobilize the Thunder Tribulation, this cultivation technique was simply amazing. In addition, Linley did some calculations. This was the first deity-level technique he had acquired, aside from the Primal Chaos Scripture and the Devouring the Heavens art. But of course, although it was at the deity level, there was still a gap between it and the Primal Chaos Scripture. Originally, he thought that this was the end, but who would have thought that the next thing would make Lin Rei even more excited. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for passing the 4th level of the Chaos Heaven Scripture. Sage Dao Fruit Sage. F***ck, F***ck, F***ck. What the F***ck? Looking at such a good thing, Lin Rei was so shocked that he couldn't speak. Lin Rei had wanted the 4th level of the Chaos Heaven Scripture for a long time. However, he hadn't drawn it. He didn't expect it to appear in this hidden mission. Looking at these two cultivation techniques, Lin Rei was extremely excited. With these two cultivation techniques, wouldn't it be no problem for him to do whatever he wanted in the God realm? Thinking of this, Lin Rei couldn't help but smile excitedly. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. The system has been upgraded to level 3 and successfully activated the scripture depository. The host hopes to continue working hard and complete the mission of upgrading the system to the limit as soon as possible. Oh my god, good things come in waves. There's no one else who can do this. Thinking of this, Lin Rei's heart moved and he instantly entered the system. The moment Lin Rei entered the system, his eyes lit up. At this moment, there was a huge change in the system. When the system was upgraded to level 3, the originally pitch-black system space underwent an earth-shattering change. Chapter 564. The originally pitch-black space was now lit up. Not only that, Lin Rei originally thought that this was just an empty space. Who would have thought that at this moment, what appeared in front of him was a picturesque place with beautiful scenery that made people forget to leave. Wow, looking at the system, Lin Rei was simply stunned. He did not expect the system's upgrade this time to be so substantial. Although it had upgraded by one level before, that was only when the martial arts arena was activated. There was not much change at all. However, the difference between the current system and the one he entered before was not small at all. At this moment, in front of Lin Rei, in front of the supermarket, there was a waterfall that flowed straight down. Below it was a pool of clear water. However, what made Lin Rei confident was not the waterfall, but the house that stood beside the waterfall. From the outside, the house did not look big, but it was very simple and unadorned. That house, in particular, was more like an ink painting of the scenery. How is it? Isn't this place very beautiful? Do you want to keep it here? Just as Lin Rei was shocked, the little dragon's voice was heard. Suddenly, Lin Rei was pulled back from his shock to reality. Not bad. I didn't expect the upgrade this time to surprise me so much. Hee hee. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon laughed and said, "Go on, that is the scripture pavilion I mentioned. There, you can get everything you want there. Of course, you will have to pay the corresponding price." Hearing this, Lin Rei raised his head and looked at the house at the top of the mountain. At this moment, his gaze was completely focused there. "Scripture pavilion?" he said in his heart, but did not go forward. He knew that he should not bite off more than he could chew. He had not fully understood his current cultivation methods, combat techniques, and spells. He was not stupid enough to cultivate just because he saw something good. That would only be digging his own grave and not the true path to becoming a powerhouse. Hee hee, no, although it's good up there. However, I don't need it now. Let's wait until I completely understand the cultivation method in my mind. Hearing this, the little dragon smiled knowingly and nodded in satisfaction. A brilliant smile appeared on his face. Hee hee, sure. I'm very happy that you can do this. Actually, I won't let you go in. Since that's the case, we'll talk about it later. Yes. In response to the little dragon's words, Lin Rei responded with a hum, and then greeted it, "Okay, hurry up and get ready to help me summon the souls of my wife and children. I have to enter the world of spirits and souls too. Go. But aren't you going to take a look at your information? After such a long time, you've never seen it before. Aren't you curious?" Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei recalled that the last time he checked his information was a few hundred years ago. Suddenly, curiosity welled up in his heart. Yes, it's time to take a look. With that, Lin Rei's mind moved and he instantly came to the information space. At this moment, not only did the system main space change, Lin Rei didn't expect this place to change as well. It became very beautiful and picturesque, making Lin Rei very envious. System, check my personal information. Completely comprehensive. Ding dong, okay. Host, please wait a moment. I'll check it for you immediately. Hearing the system's cold voice, Lin Rei's entire body shuddered, and then he waited seriously. Ding dong, it's checked. Host, please take a look. Hearing the system's words, in the next moment, the originally empty space in front of him turned into a screen in the next moment. All of his information appeared on it. Name, Lin Rei. Age, 1350. System level, 3 cultivation, peak late divine ancestor experience, 5,000 torch dragons, 13,000 torch dragons, spiritual roots, thunder, fire, wood, metal, chaos spiritual roots talent, middle god emperor cultivation techniques, chaos scripture 3rd layer, incomplete, devouring heavenly technique, growable, hongmeng pill refinement, entry cultivation technique, cloud art, emperor grade cultivation technique, same array, emperor grade cultivation technique, tyrant body technique. Emperor grade cultivation technique, thunder tyrant body, ancestor grade secret technique, lightning scripture, deity grade cultivation technique, martial techniques, butterfly steps, entry, star finger, practiced, silent thunder spear art, high profound grade martial technique, now trained to entry, able to produce 3 lightning bolts, myriad sword art, heaven grade, level 3 incineration, emperor grade, dragon subduing step, emperor grade, Azura spear art, king grade, Azura sword array. King grade, divine movement 100 changes, emperor grade, spiritual treasures, chaos dragon spear, top grade god equipment, martial emperor god spear, low grade god equipment, growable, myriad magic sword, no grade, myriad beast treasure furnace, grade extreme temple, high grade immortal equipment, heaven and earth magnificent space, no grade, equipment, top grade flowing light god equipment set mount, early divine ancestor lottery big wheel, 0 character lottery system, 0 reputation, none exchange points, none spiritual stones, 0 supreme grade alchemist, 3,000 candle dragons, 6,000 candle dragons, supreme grade array master, 3,568 candle dragons, 6,000 candle dragons, supreme grade weapon refiner, 3,456 candle dragons, 6,000 candle dragons, talisman master, yet to be activated top grade spiritual medicine, heavenly treasures, 50 kilograms of purple gold nephrite, 50 kilograms of purple gold sand, 50 kilograms of purple gold divine iron. Side mission, main mission, lead a top sect in the divine realm for 1,000 years. Elixirs, 11 mind control pills, 7836 mind control pills. Seeing this, Lin Ray did not say anything and only nodded calmly. Not bad. Hee hee, you brat. Looking at Lin Ray, the little dragon nodded and said, do you know that you still owe me a lot of reputation points and exchange points? So, work hard. Hearing this, an awkward expression appeared on Linley's face, and he hurriedly interrupted, well, I'll go out first. You should hurry up and prepare some things for the spirit summoning. Once we enter the world of spirits and souls, you can start the spirit summoning. Yes, I know. Don't worry. At this moment, the little dragon's face was very serious. The playful look from before was completely gone, because he knew the meaning of Jean Ling and Jean N to Lin Ray. Okay, then I'll go out first. Seeing the little dragon nod, Lin Ray left the system and returned to reality. Phew. Lin Ray, who returned to reality, looked at the familiar scene around him, and a cold smile appeared on his face. He stood up and walked towards the vortex step by step. Although the 10,000 ghosts tide had all been swallowed up by the system, this was still a place where 2 different worlds intersected. It was naturally filled with pressure. Therefore, when Linley was only 20 meters away from the vortex, he found it difficult to advance any further. Damn, what the hell, what's going on? At this moment, Lin Ray's face was full of coldness as he looked at the vortex in front of him. He wished that he had a pair of wings and could fly over in an instant. Kid, don't be nervous. Take your time. The pressure here is no less than the pressure of a godly master. If you want to pass through, break through to the godly master level here. Anyway, you're only 1 step away from the godly master level. What, break through to the godly master level here? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray was furious. Do you know the gap of 1 step? Do you think this is the only obstacle between the chi refinement stage and the chi refinement stage? The little dragon had already guessed Lin Ray's reaction. Then I can't care. Anyway, I won't help you. It's up to you whether you can enter or not. With that, the little dragon's voice completely disappeared from Lin Ray's mind. Damn, is there such a trap? Didn't we say that I can enter the ghost realm after the 10,000 ghost tide? What's going on now? Although he said so, his body couldn't help but sit down. The chaos shock began to operate quickly. Humph, smelly little dragon, you only know how to trick me. Wait until I see your body, see if I don't smash your butt. After saying this in his heart, he closed his eyes and entered cultivation. His whole person began to become sacred. Xiaolong, who had been observing Linley the entire time, chuckled when he saw Linley enter the room to train, then ignored him. However, the exploration of Lin Ray's surroundings didn't stop. Here, Who knew if there was any danger approaching? At this moment, after returning from the Tendo conference, Sakura was qualified to be the Holy Son. After that, in just a few hundred years, he went from a mortal rank assassin to a heaven rank assassin. This shocked everyone in the assassin sect. If they had known earlier, the difference between the mortal stage and the heaven stage was like the difference between heaven and earth. Even the most talented person would need thousands or even tens of thousands of years. But now, their Holy Son had actually used a few hundred years to accomplish something that would take thousands of years. This time, the elder of the assassin sect loved and respected Sakura even more. He gave his all and let Sakura take charge of the development of the assassin sect. Boom! A muffled sound came from a room on the 5th floor of the assassin sect. Not long after, the door opened and a masked man walked out. His eyes were filled with killing intent, as if he couldn't wait to kill everyone. This kind of coldness couldn't be learned by others. It came from his bones. He finally broke through to the monarch god level. TSK, I wonder how the original body is doing. I haven't seen him in a few hundred years. I wonder where he is now. The man standing at the door muttered to himself. His lover was none other than Lin Rei's clone, Sakura, the current Holy Son of the assassin sect. Forget it, the original body is so strong. He should be fine. I should think about how to increase my strength first. With that thought, Sakura strode towards the 7th floor where missions were accepted. Along the way, everyone who saw Sakura would lower their heads and greet him, "Greetings, Holy Son." There were no exceptions. Even the assassin sect did the same when they saw him. Soon, Sakura arrived at the 7th floor. Seeing the crowd coming and going to accept missions, Sakura smiled and walked to a place where only the assassin sect could accept missions. "Greetings, Holy Son. Are you here to accept a mission?" Just as Sakura arrived at the place where the assassin sect accepted missions, the person in charge of the mission board asked. Looking at that person, Sakura replied, "Not bad. I just broke through to the monarch god level and would like to go out and train to see how strong I am." Chapter 565. What? For a moment, these two words began to ring out from the mouths of everyone on the 7th floor. Everyone's faces were filled with shock, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. Looking at everyone's reaction, Sakura smiled awkwardly and ignored them. Instead, he asked the person in charge of the list in a low voice, "Senior, do you have any novel and strange missions?" "Of course, it's fine if it's dangerous." Oh, I got it." Hearing the pressurization, the man hurriedly said, "Don't tell me, I do have some strange missions here." As he spoke, the man walked to the back. When he came out again, he was holding 4 to 5 scrolls in his hand. He looked like he had a headache. Seeing this, Sakura frowned. After he took charge of the Assassins Association, he knew some things. For example, the person in charge of accepting missions on the list. They were naturally beaming with joy if they had good missions. However, when they encountered some particularly strange things, they would be in a difficult position. Just like the man's expression now. As for these people, they usually didn't show their faces because they didn't go out. Of course, they would occasionally go out to accept some missions. After all, they were all venerable level assassins. However, only the elders and sect masters knew about this problem. Of course, Sakura was an exception. "Holy Son, to tell you the truth, these missions have been here for who knows how many years. Over the years, many people have done them, but I'll be honest with you, I've also done the missions that no one has been able to complete. But in the end, they all failed." What? Hearing the man's words, Sakura was shocked. He knew the strength of the person in front of him. He was at the peak of the late-stage Divine Lord realm. After hearing him say these people like this, Sakura began to be curious. What kind of mission would be like this? Looking at Sakura's shocked eyes, the man hurriedly took out a mission and placed it on the table. He began to introduce it. this mission is the most difficult one among them. Oh. Hearing the man's words, Sakura listened seriously. To be able to be rated as the most difficult by the man, it must be an existence that was very powerful in assassination. Yes, this mission is for you to go to the 9th continent and find a mission called the Spider Lily and its roots. Back then, I accepted this mission. Who knew? At this point, the man's face revealed a terrified expression, as if he was very afraid of recalling that matter. Seeing the man like this, Sakura felt strange. Isn't it just finding the flower and root of a red spider lily? Is it that difficult? However, he had heard many legends about the 9th continent in the past few hundred years. It was said that the 9th continent was very mysterious, and it was very difficult for those who entered to come out. Those who could come out were definitely experts. There are also cities, oceans, families, and everything we have here. There are also things we don't have here. For example, the Buddhist sect is very prosperous there. It is a top force. There is also the Danzong sect, the Array sect, the Useless Fart sect, the Talisman sect, and many other things we don't have here. Indra, who had been listening to the man's words, was already thinking in his heart, Formation sect, Talisman sect, Danzong sect, Tool sect, these were all professions that were needed in the 8 great continents. He did not expect them to be so prosperous in the 9th continent. Thinking of this, Sakura couldn't help but be curious and began to get restless. Although he wasn't proficient in everything like the deity, he still had some superficial knowledge. Furthermore, more importantly, there are saints that have never existed in the divine realm. Although they are not true saints, they are still half-step saints. What? How is that possible? When this news came out, Sakura was instantly shocked. The word saint shocked him. He knew that one could only advance to the next realm after breaking through to the divine venerable realm. Even in the entire divine realm, there had never been a half-step saint. He did not expect that the 9th continent would have one. Alright, I won't talk to you anymore. It's pointless to say so much. After learning from my mistake, the elders sealed this mission. If you didn't say that you wanted to see it today, I wouldn't have taken it out. As he spoke, the man picked up the second mission. However, at this moment, the man's expression was much more relaxed, and he did not have the solemn expression from before. This mission can be said to be the simplest among them. At the same time, it is also the easiest to complete. However, no one wants to complete it. Oh. When he heard the man mention the second mission, Sakura was puzzled, but he did not say anything. Instead, he continued to listen to the man's introduction. This mission requires you to help him create a huge mercenary group and then hand over the control of the entire mercenary group to him. Of course, the commission for this mission is not small. It can be said that it is very generous. However, let me ask you, who would give up a force that they built with their own hands? Therefore, no one would accept it. Heh. Sakura coldly said when he heard the man's introduction of the second mission. This person is also a strange existence. Who would accept this mission? That's right. That's why this mission is still here. As he spoke, the man put it down and picked up the third mission. He was delighted and introduced it to Sakura. Then, he picked up the fourth mission. This fourth mission was even more strange. It was to kidnap the saintess of Chinkuan's sect and cripple her cultivation before handing her over to him. When he heard this mission, Sakura was killed. Logically speaking, this kind of mission should not be accepted. However, the commission was still very generous. It was against the rules if he did not accept it. Alright, after saying so much, the first 4 missions are alright. However, the 5th mission is even more strange. It can be said that there is little hope. It's that serious? When he heard the man's evaluation of the 5th mission, Sakura was curious. Out of the first 4 missions, he was only slightly interested in the first one. Yes, it is quite serious. Let me tell you a secret. The person behind this mission is none other than the one with the highest position in Chinkuan sect. What? God? Sakura was stunned when he heard those words. At the same time, he was also curious. He was very curious about what kind of mission the god could give out. Why? Are you shocked? When I heard it, my reaction was similar to yours. However, this mission is simply too difficult. As he spoke, the man opened up the mission and started to introduce it to Sakura. This mission is similar to the first one. The only difference is that the first mission is to search for an item while the second mission is to search for a person. What? Search for a person? Could it be that the god lost his child? Hee hee. Regarding this mission, Sakura wasn't interested in it after hearing it. He originally wanted to accept the first mission, but at this time, the man's next words attracted him. Don't laugh. This person isn't looking for his child. He is looking for a person with purple blood. What? Purple blood? Are you sure? Looking at Sakura's reaction, the man thought that this was the first time Sakura had heard of the purple blood. However, this man didn't know that Sakura himself had the purple blood. If one were to look at it closely, it would be his original body. In this world, other than his original body, there was only him who had the purple blood. Oh, that's right. I'm sure. The rewards are extremely generous. If you can find this opportunity to obtain a Zone or Zune grade technique, you will also be able to become a guest elder of Chinkuan Sect. As he said this, the man's face was filled with yearning. He would even mutter, sigh, how good would it be if I can find it? Although I don't care about being a guest elder, it would still be great if I can obtain a Zone or Zune grade technique. At this moment, Sakura couldn't bear to listen to the man's words. When he heard that Chinkuan's sect was willing to pay such a huge price to find his original body, Sakura started to worry. He was worried that his original body didn't know about this. As he thought of this, Sakura's face froze. He then regained his senses and said to the man, Senior, I'll accept the 5th mission. I want to go out for a walk. I'll treat it as a vacation. Ah. Are you sure? This sudden decision caused the man who issued the mission to be stunned. He didn't expect that Sakura would accept such a difficult mission. This wasn't like searching for herbs. There were herbs everywhere. This was searching for a single person in the god world. This was akin to searching for a needle in a haystack. Saint Child, if you wish to go out for a walk, I can give you some simple missions. You can complete them while having fun. This mission is simply impossible to complete. Hearing the man's advice, Sakura smiled, No, I'll accept this mission. I'm really curious about how a person with purple blood looks like. What's so special about him? As he said this, the man didn't know what to say when he saw the resolute look in Sakura's eyes. He nodded his head and agreed. Alright, I won't register you first. After all, no one will notice this mission. However, Saint Child, you must be careful. A person with purple blood shouldn't be an ordinary person. If you find him, remember to protect yourself. If you don't find him, then forget it. Hee hee. Seeing the man so worried, Sakura hurriedly nodded his head and agreed, I know. Are you still worried about me? But Senior, maybe I'll be able to surpass you when I come back. You'd better hurry up and cultivate. Leave this kind of thing to the disciples below. You don't have to do this. Sigh. The man's face lit up with joy when he heard Sakura's words. He hurriedly replied, I'm used to it. Moreover, at my age, I don't have the drive like before. Let nature take its course. Looking at the man like this, in order to thank him for the matter just now, Indra immediately took out a medicinal pill that his original body gave him before and handed it to the man, saying, Senior, this medicinal pill may be beneficial to you. N. Looking at the medicinal pill in front of him, the man smiled and took the medicinal pill. He didn't care at first, but when he felt the energy coming from the medicinal pill, he was shocked. Chapter 566. This is. Looking at the pill in his hand, the man stuttered and couldn't speak. Boundary-breaking pill. Although the grade isn't high, it should be of some help to you. What? Boundary-breaking pill? How is this possible? The boundary-breaking pill is a lost pill. How could you? Speaking of this, the man quickly shut his mouth and didn't speak anymore. Holding the boundary-breaking pill, he bowed deeply to Sakura. I am Lu Ko. I will not refuse the saint's orders. Hearing Lu Ko's words, Sakura's face lit up. Originally, he just wanted to borrow the flower and didn't think too much about it. He didn't expect Lu Ko to do this. To him, this was undoubtedly an unexpected surprise. Alright, hurry up and cultivate. Find a trustworthy person to help you with the matters here. With that, Sakura didn't stay any longer. He took a step forward and disappeared from the 7th floor. Looking at the place where Sakura disappeared, the man's eyes were filled with gratitude for a long time. Be careful. For today's kindness, I, Lu Ko, will follow your orders in the future. With that, Lu Ko turned around and instructed the disciple beside him. Then, he went into seclusion. At this moment, Sakura came out of Sky Human Residence and walked out of the city with a murderous look on his face. Seems like I have to find the real body quickly and tell him that Shinkuin's sect is looking for him. Otherwise, it would be bad if I were to be exposed. With that, Sakura couldn't help but quicken his pace. At this moment, the 7 Shura clan members that were sent out by Lin Rei to protect him had been following Sakura's side ever since that day, secretly protecting him. Time passed by slowly. At the end of Yellow Springs Road, Lin Rei, who was cultivating, didn't wake up after cultivating. Once he started, he cultivated for dozens of years. Every breakthrough was extremely difficult. Especially for a breakthrough like his, which required dozens of times more effort than a normal cultivator. It was even more difficult. In the blink of an eye, 40 years had passed. Lin Rei, who had been sitting on Yellow Springs Road for a long time. Like a normal Buddha, he sat at the entrance of the ghost world to cultivate. Finally, on this day, 40 years later, a strange energy instantly flowed out of Lin Rei's body. It was like a wave of water, and it gradually spread out in all directions. Hee Motherf asterisk Ker, this is really something. He actually took such a long time to break through. Looks like we'll have to hurry up and enter the ghost realm. Thinking about it, Lin Rei felt a little better about the energy in his body. He retracted his cultivation base. Phew, he let out a long sigh of relief and slowly opened his eyes. Then, he stood up. Bumpy bumpy bumpy, crackle crackle, instantly, as Linley rose to his feet, the bones in his body began to emit a bone-chilling sound. Although the strength of my body didn't increase by much, at least my cultivation base has finally broken through. He felt better about the endless power in his body. Then, he clenched his fists and punched forward. With a bang, a pair of fist intents instantly rushed out and bombarded the yellow river beside him. Immediately, the river water exploded at this moment. Rumble, rumble, at this moment, the entire bridge of helplessness shook inexplicably. Lin Rei's face was full of doubts. Who disturbed this old ancestor's sleep? A voice that made Lin Rei tremble and fear instantly appeared. The voice was full of vicissitudes. Hearing this voice, Lin Rei quickly released his early monarch god cultivation base. The Chaos Dragon Spear instantly appeared in Lin Rei's hand. He held it tightly and looked around vigilantly. As long as the situation wasn't right, he was ready to make a move. Although he felt that there was a difference between his cultivation base and the mysterious creature that spoke just now, it was impossible for him to retreat. Brat, don't fight. Hurry up and run. This thing isn't something you can deal with right now. Hurry up and run. At this moment, he, who was ready to fight, heard the warning of the little dragon. Without thinking, he immediately activated the dragon's subduing step to the extreme and rushed toward the entrance of the ghost realm. After disturbing this lord's sleep, you still want to escape. Do you think that's possible? However, just as the inner ghost realm was about to close in on him, an energy that Linley couldn't control and couldn't fight back at all bound Linley in midair, making him unable to move. Hiss, feeling that his body was out of control, Lin Ray took in a breath of cold air. Then, his heart was filled with fear. How could this be? At this moment, Lin Ray, who had broken through to the monarch god level, had a gloomy expression. He didn't expect this mysterious creature to be so terrifying. Ever since he broke through to the monarch god level, he felt that even god emperors couldn't bind him. However, this thing was as easy as blowing off dust. It was as though it could move space. Ha! A mere monarch god ant. Tell me, how do you want to die so that you can disturb this lord's sleep? Hearing this, Lin Ray's expression softened. He said in a low voice, Senior, this junior is ignorant. If I have offended you in any way, this junior will apologize to you. Before Lin Ray could finish his words, he was interrupted by the mysterious voice. All right, I won't talk nonsense with you. Since you're here, then just die here. This lord has never been close to a blood meal in so many years. Hearing this, Lin Ray was shocked. He immediately released all of his cultivation base, wanting to break free and escape. However, in the end, he was wrong. Even if he took out all of his trump cards, it would be useless. Compared to that mysterious creature, the two of them weren't even on the same level. Whoosh, just as the mysterious voice finished speaking, a black vortex suddenly appeared in front of Lin Ray. Waves of death chi and evil chi came out from it. Is there really no other way? Looking at the black vortex, Lin Ray's eyes were filled with despair. He smiled bitterly. Good. Despair, completely despair. This kind of emotion is this lord's best eclipse. Come, let me see what despair you have. As he spoke, Linley couldn't resist at all. He could only watch as the black light shot towards his mind, and all he could do was watch. He closed his eyes in despair. He knew that death was coming, but he could only wait and wait. But it just wouldn't come. When Lin Ray opened his eyes, he saw the little dragon in front of him. It had a majestic soul power that helped him resist the powerful attack. The appearance of the little dragon made the mysterious person vigilant. You, who are you? The mysterious man's voice was trembling as he spoke. Hearing this, the look of despair on Linley's face slowly began to fade. A dead ghost from the Yellow Springs dares to touch this lord's people. Do you really think this lord is dead? Saying this, the little dragon casually launched an attack similar to a wind blade and blasted towards the river. Bang! A loud sound was heard. The moment the wind blade and the river water collided, the river water instantly exploded. At the same time as the river water exploded, a scream of agony entered Linley's ears. Damn, just how strong is this guy? He actually managed to turn that thing into such a state in an instant. Looking at the little dragon, Lin Ray was full of shock. Although he knew that the little dragon was strong, he didn't expect the little dragon's strength to be this strong. Bang! Then, a figure instantly rushed out of the Yellow Springs River. The speed was so fast that Lin Ray didn't even see the other party's movements. When Lin Ray saw the figure again, it was already not far in front of him. This was a person that Lin Ray couldn't identify. Although he couldn't see the other party's appearance, he was sure that this person was definitely not a supreme god from the aura emitted from the other party. If this was the case, then the last possibility was Hiss. Sage. Thinking of this, Lin Ray couldn't help but take a few more glances at the person. Of course, this was only his guess. Senior, it's this junior's fault. I didn't know this person was under your protection. Just as Lin Ray was stunned, he saw the mysterious person come in front of the little dragon and directly kneel on the ground. He began to kowtow to the little dragon and apologize. Looking at this difference, Lin Ray was completely stunned. It was him before, but now it was indeed the mysterious person. Looking at the mysterious person begging for mercy, Lin Ray began to feel nervous. Looking at the two people in front of him who he couldn't defeat, Lin Ray began to feel anxious. Humph, you didn't wait in the Yellow Springs but dared to come out and eat the lunar eclipse. Doesn't the seal of the Great Tao have any effect on you? Seal of the Great Tao? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray was puzzled. However, the mysterious person in front of the little dragon at this moment trembled the moment he heard the seal of the Great Tao. Although his face couldn't be seen clearly, Lin Ray could imagine that his face was definitely very ugly at this moment just by looking at his trembling appearance. Senior, it's my fault. This junior won't dare to do it again. I beg of you, please forgive me. This junior will return right now. After saying that, the mysterious person instantly stood up. Before Lin Ray could react, the mysterious person disappeared. At this moment, the energy that imprisoned him also disappeared along with the mysterious person's disappearance. Plop. Lin Ray, who was completely unprepared, fell from the sky the instant the energy disappeared. Ha ha ha, at this moment, the little dragon that sensed Lin Ray turned around and said with a smile. Okay, hurry up and leave. This time, I've let you off. After saying that, the little dragon's body disappeared and returned to the system. The instant the little dragon returned to the system, his originally flushed face and condensed soul instantly changed. Not only was his complexion deathly pale, his originally condensed energy also began to become illusory. As for this action, Lin Ray simply didn't know that at this moment, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray instantly used the dragon subduing step. Looking at the vortex before him, he rushed in without any obstruction. Phew. I finally went in. TSK, if another person like that came, I'm afraid I'll really be left out here today. In the system, the little dragon looked at his illusory arm and couldn't help but sigh with self-ridicule. Chapter 567. Yes, with your current situation, it's not that I want to nag at you, but a gust of wind can blow you away. At this moment, the system's cold synthetic voice came out, complaining to the little dragon. Hearing the system's words, the little dragon chuckled, then said indifferently, sigh. It was originally nothingness, born from heaven and earth, then it must return to heaven and earth. Anyway, I can't get out of here. I've been here for so long, I'm tired of staying here, I might as well go crazy with this kid for a lifetime. Hee hee. Hearing the little dragon's words, the system chuckled twice, but this laughter was worse than crying. Yes, everything is nothingness, but since you want to go crazy with the host for a lifetime, then quickly go back and recover, you can't summon souls at all in your current state. Hearing this, the little dragon's face darkened, his lips squirmed a few times, wanting to say something, but in the end, he held it back. Whoosh, at this moment, a blue whirlpool quietly appeared in front of the little dragon. Go in, while you're away, I'll protect the host. After all, he's the director chosen by the system, I can't let him be bullied. Huh, good, I've been waiting for you to say that. In that case, I'll have to trouble you. With that, the little dragon chuckled. Then he disappeared into the whirlpool. Hee hee, how troublesome, TSK. Looking at the place where the little dragon disappeared, the system muttered, then the whole system returned to silence. The world of spirits and souls, known as the capital of death, was a place that only accommodated souls. It could be said to be another place in the cultivation world, but the people here did not cultivate as immortals or gods, they cultivated as souls, cultivated as the path of spirits. 3,000 paths, one could prove it every day, but because the path of spirits was very unique, it was separated from the beginning and came to the world of spirits and souls. At this moment, at the intersection of the path of spirits and the heavenly realm, a light suddenly appeared. The light did not appear for a long time. When the light disappeared, there was a young man standing in the originally empty place. This person's hair was slightly purple, his eyes were slightly red, and his body was full of spiritual energy. This is the world of spirits and souls? This person wasn't someone else, he was really the Lin Ray who entered the ghost realm from the entrance of the Yellow Springs Road. At this moment, what appeared in front of Lin Ray was a dark place. There was no sunlight here, and there were no plants. There were only broken rocks and boundless ghostly chi. The first time he saw the ghost realm, a word appeared in Lin Ray's mind to describe this place: desolate. That's right, it was desolate. Looking at the environment here, Lin Ray began to sympathize with them. There was simply no comparison between this place and the God realm, because the difference between the two was simply too great. You are. Just as Lin Ray was sighing with emotion, a very weak and timid voice was heard. Immediately, Lin Ray's gaze was attracted to that voice. 10 meters away, behind a rock, there was a little girl. Her face couldn't be seen clearly because she was too dirty and her clothes were tattered. It was unbearable to look at. Looking at the little girl who looked only 7 or 8 years old, Lin Ray was stunned at first, then he came back to his senses and quickly walked up. The moment Lin Ray came to the little girl's side, he looked at her with a puzzled gaze and asked curiously, "Why are you alone? Where's your family?" When he came in front of the little girl, Lin Ray found that the little girl wasn't wearing anything at all. Her little foot had been broken by the stone, and blue blood flowed out from the injured area. Seeing this, Lin Ray couldn't help but feel pain in his heart, and then he wanted to reach out and pick her up. But the moment he reached out to pick up the girl, the 7 or 8-year-old girl retreated with fear in her eyes. This place was very desolate, and the gravel on the ground was so much that it gave Lin Ray a headache. Looking at the little girl's injured foot, she retreated step by step. Suddenly, Lin Ray quickly stopped his actions. She didn't want to let such a young child be in her hands because of her. "Little girl, tell me, where's your family? Why are you here alone?" Hearing Lin Ray's words, the little girl saw that Lin Ray didn't do what he had done previously, so she stopped in her tracks. Her face was filled with curiosity, and her tender voice was heard. I don't have parents." Hearing this, Lin Ray was stunned. Without parents, looking at such a young child, he really didn't expect this to be the result. Then why are you here alone?" Towards this little girl in front of him, Linley didn't dare to act rashly. Towards this sort of girl, who had always been on high alert since she was a child, Linley didn't dare to act rashly. He wasn't anxious. I didn't know where to go, so I walked and walked and walked and walked here." Hearing the little girl's words, and seeing her naturally dazed face, Lin Ray started to have a good impression of her. He didn't think that he was a good person, but he definitely wasn't a bad person either. After all, his 6 disciples were all orphans. Therefore, seeing the little girl like this, Lin Ray's heart was moved. "Here, take it and eat it. It's very delicious. After eating it, your feet won't hurt anymore." In order to lower the little girl's guard against him, Lin Ray hurriedly took out a healing pill and handed it to the little girl. At this moment, the little girl originally wanted to retreat when she saw Lin Ray's actions. However, when she suddenly smelled the fragrance of the pill in Lin Ray's hand, the little girl unconsciously stopped in her tracks. A pair of puzzled eyes looked at the pill in Lin Ray's hand. "Is this a pill? Oh. You know about it?" Lin Ray didn't think that such a simple little girl would be able to recognize a pill. I saw it in the market before. However, this thing is very expensive. When I touched it, they kept hitting me." After hearing this, Lin Ray's heart burned with anger. Just how much of a beast would those people be to be able to hit such a young child? After calming down his emotions, Lin Ray's voice became very gentle. "Come, eat as much as you want. You can eat as much as you want." With that, Lin Ray stuffed the pill into the little girl's hand. Then, he took out a bottle filled with pills and handed it to the little girl. "Eat it. This pill won't do you any harm. Not only is it harmless, it will also be good for your body." At this moment, when the little girl heard Lin Ray's words, her eyes were filled with fear. She tentatively stuffed the pill into her mouth. Looking at the little girl's appearance, Lin Ray reached out his hand and patted her head. Then, he sighed. Wow, it's delicious. After eating the pill, the little girl raised her head and looked at Lin Ray with a pleasantly surprised smile. Her face was filled with joy. At this moment, the broken wound on her foot instantly healed under the effect of the pill. Seeing this, Lin Ray smiled and took out the shoes that Jean N and the others had worn in the past. Here, put this on. It won't hurt when you walk in the future. With that, Lin Ray squatted down and began to help the little girl put on the shoes. After going through so much, the little girl completely let down her guard against Lin Ray. With an innocent smile, she hugged Lin Ray's neck and kissed Lin Ray's face. Thank you, big brother. You're the best person I've ever met. In the past, they would beat me up and never play with me. Even if I accidentally touched them, they would beat me up. Haha. Looking at the little girl, Lin Ray smiled and helped her put on the shoes. What's your name? Feeling that it was about time, Lin Ray opened his mouth and asked. I'm called May. May? This name shocked Lin Ray. Demons and monsters. This name shocked Lin Ray. He couldn't understand why her family would give her such a name. Okay. Little May, why don't you come with me? Although I won't make you rich, you'll still have food and clothing. If you follow me, no one will bully you in the future, okay? Hearing this, the little girl looked at the shoes on her face and the pill that was placed next to her. Then, she thought about it and nodded in agreement. Okay, thank you, big brother. Seeing the little girl nod in agreement, Lin Ray's face was full of smiles as he said to her, okay, don't call me big brother in the future. If you don't mind, you can acknowledge me as your father. In the future, I'll do my best to nurture you. For such a young girl, how could she understand Lin Ray's words? After hearing Lin Ray's words, the little girl nodded and agreed without even thinking. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for obtaining the body of the medicine god. This girl is born with a very good affinity with spiritual medicine and alchemy. If she cultivates alchemy techniques, her future achievements will be very dazzling. Body of the medicine god? The sudden words of the system stunned Lin Ray. However, after hearing the effects of the body of the medicine god, Lin Ray's heart was filled with joy. Originally, he only felt that she was pitiful and at the same time, he took her in as a foster daughter. This result was completely unexpected. The body of the medicine god. This kind of physique needs to be nurtured well. It will definitely be of help to you in the future. Hearing this, Lin Ray nodded and bent down to pick up the little girl. Then, he found a direction, released his cultivation, and instantly rushed in the direction he chose. Wow! I'm flying. Father, I'm flying. At this moment, May, who was in Lin Ray's arms, was full of excitement as she watched herself fly. Then, she danced with joy, causing Lin Ray to be infected by her atmosphere. Hee, little guy, you'll fly like this in the future. However, since you recognize me as your father, you'll take my surname. With that, Lin Ray did not care whether the little girl agreed or not and said, my surname is Lin. Since you have a name, then I'll add a Lin in front of your name and call you Lin May. What do you think? The naive little girl did not even think about it when she heard Lin Ray's words. She nodded excitedly, my name is Lin May. Chapter 568. Looking at the cute and innocent little girl from the ghost realm in his arms, Lin Ray doted on her even more. With Lin May in tow, Lin Ray finally saw the first city in the ghost realm, Lake City. Not far from the city, Lin Ray landed on the ground with Lin May in his arms. Although this was a remote place, there was a constant flow of people coming and going. In contrast, Lin Ray was surprisingly surprised. Father, I don't want to come here. At this moment, just as Lin Ray was looking at Lake City, he felt Lin May trembling in his arms. What's wrong? Lin Ray did not know about her past at all, so she was curious about Lin Ray's actions at this moment. There there are bad people here. They all hit me. I don't want to come here. I want to leave. Oh. Hearing this, Lin Ray realized that this was the reason. It's okay. Father is here. They can't hurt you. Not only do we have to go in, but we also have to punish those who bullied you. With that, Lin Ray reached out and patted Lin May's back. A trace of spiritual energy instantly entered her body, making her feel at ease. Slowly, perhaps because she had been overly nervous all this time, under the effect of Lin Ray's spiritual energy, Lin May slowly closed her eyes comfortably and fell asleep. Seeing that Lin May had fallen asleep, Lin Ray did not disturb her. He then carried her and walked toward the city gate tower. On the way, every single person who passed by would glance at Linley, their eyes filled with curiosity. Compared to them, Linley didn't mind at all. This is a human. Him? How did he come to the ghost realm? Could it be that the entrance between the human realm and the ghost realm has been opened? That's right. How can a human come to the ghost realm? And I can sense the aura on his body. This is too powerful. As a monarch god, Lin Ray's strength was very powerful. He could still hear the discussions around him. In contrast, he frowned and quickened his pace, arriving at the city gate of Lake City. Stop. Just as Lin Ray was about to enter Hu City's gate, the gatekeeper reached out his hand to stop Lin Ray and Lin Luoran. His tone wasn't very friendly. Brat, you need to pay 5 mid-grade spirit stones to enter the city. If you don't have it, then I'm sorry. Lake City will help you improve. Ha. Lin Ray didn't want to cause any trouble as he looked at the old man who was guarding the door. He could afford to pay 5 mid-grade spirit stones. After all, he was still a sect leader. Of course, he wasn't one anymore. Without hesitation, Lin Ray waved his hand and 10 mid-grade spirit stones appeared in his hand. He then handed them to the gatekeeper and asked in a deep voice, "Can I enter now?" At this moment, everyone, including the passers-by, the gatekeepers, and the people doing business at the entrance, were shocked when they saw Linley casually take out 10 spiritual stones. Their faces were filled with shock. At this moment, looking at the 10 spiritual stones in front of them, the two gatekeepers revealed a greedy and fierce look. However, they hesitated and lowered their heads. Therefore, Lin Ray didn't notice at all. Alright, go on in. The two gatekeepers quickly retracted their greedy look and took the 10 spiritual stones with a smile. Then, they made way for Lin Ray, who was carrying the child, to enter the city. At this moment, after Lin Ray left, the passers-by sighed. Sigh. Look at that person. Could it be that he's gone? This is the most basic requirement of a cultivator. 10 spiritual stones just like that. TSK, yeah, I'm afraid the two gatekeepers are going to attack that person. Do you think we should? Just as he said that, the man next to him gestured for him to keep quiet and said, "Shoo, we can't interfere in this matter. Besides, those are other people's matters. Don't we have important matters to attend to? Let's go quickly." Lin Ray didn't know about this situation at all. Of course, even if he knew, he wouldn't care. After all, when he came here, he had already investigated the situation of the gatekeepers. In the divine realm, their cultivation was at most the late stage of the divine guard realm. Youngest, tell Grandpa. Even if there's a rich and overbearing person in the city who doesn't seem to be very powerful, if this matter succeeds, he will get a lot of benefits. At this moment, on the city gate tower, not long after Lin Ray left, one of the gatekeepers said to the other, "Okay, third, I'll go and report this matter to the master. Remember, this matter is due to the two of us. When the time comes, you can't take it all for yourself. Do you understand?" TSK, I understand. Hurry up and go. Third heard youngest's words. Then, he laughed impatiently and disappeared from the city gate tower. Lin Ray didn't know anything about what happened at the city gate tower. After entering the city, Lin Ray walked aimlessly on the city streets with Lin Mei in his arms. He walked and stopped as if he was playing. Hey, look, look! Demonic essence of a soul beast for 3 mid-grade spirit stones. It's cheap, cheap. Coming to the inn. There's a lot of good food. There's something you can't imagine. Coming. All kinds of hawking voices praised Lin Ray. There was no comparison between here and outside the city. There was a heavenly king here. Here, everything was available. But outside the city, it was a desolate and tragic scene. Seeing how lively this place was, Linley didn't continue forward. Instead, he chuckled to another inn and entered it. May I ask if you want to eat or stay? Our inn is the best in the entire Lake City. As soon as Lin Ray entered the inn with Lin Mei in his arms, a waiter suddenly appeared out of nowhere and started talking. He didn't say much, so Lin Ray impatiently interrupted him. Listen, give me a room. I want the best. As for food, wait until I say I want to eat. Hearing this, the waiter immediately turned and walked to the back of the inn with a smile. Before he left, he turned his head and said to Lin Ray, "Come, sir. I'll take you to your accommodation." Hearing this, Linley didn't say anything else. He lifted his feet and followed the waiter. On the way, the two didn't speak. They just walked like this. Not long after, Linley followed the waiter to the door of a room. When the waiter heard this, he turned his head and said with a smile, "Sir, this is the best room in the inn. Please stay here first. If you need anything, just call me at any time." With that, the waiter opened the door and handed the key to Lin Ray. Go ahead. This is your reward." Lin Ray didn't really like this waiter, but Lin Ray, who had always been generous, wasn't stingy at all. He casually tossed a mid-grade spirit stone to the waiter. Ah! Spirit stone? The moment the waiter caught it, he felt a majestic wave of spirit energy coming from his hand. Suddenly, the man looked at the spirit stone in his hand in disbelief. He asked Lin Ray in shock. Serve me well in the future. You won't be short of benefits, got it? Lin Ray didn't understand why they were so excited when they saw the spirit stone, but Lin Ray knew that spirit stones were definitely the currency here. It wasn't like the God realm, where gold coins were used. Ah, thank you. Thank you, sir. I'll remember it. At this moment, when the waiter heard Lin Ray's words, he immediately nodded at Lin Ray with a glint in his eyes and left. After entering the room and closing the door, Lin Ray placed Lin Mei, who was in his arms, on the bed. Without thinking, he set up a venerable killing formation and trapping formation around the room. Then, his divine thoughts automatically entered the system in an instant. Arriving at this beautiful system space with birds chirping and flowers blooming, Lin Ray was stunned for 2 seconds. He was still not used to it. Then, Lin Ray, who recovered, called out to the sky. Little dragon, come out. We're already in the ghost realm. When are you going to help me summon Ling, and spirits back?" After shouting for a long time, Lin Ray, who had been eagerly waiting for the little dragon to appear, had a flustered look in his eyes. His heart was full of disappointment. This wasn't the first time such a thing had happened. Previously, after saving him in the Death Canyon, the situation was like this. Lin Ray couldn't help but think of the mysterious person he met when he entered the ghost realm. Suddenly, a bad premonition welled up in his heart. Little dragon, come out. Are you hurt because of what happened last time? Come out quickly. Suddenly, Lin Ray felt that something was wrong. He called out to the sky a few more times, but in the end, there was no response. In this regard, Lin Ray confirmed that the little dragon had once again entered a deep sleep. In contrast, Lin Ray's face was full of disappointment. Sigh. What should I do? The little dragon has entered a deep sleep. Am I just going to let the matter of summoning the spirits go? With that said, Lin Ray walked back and forth in the system with deep disappointment. At this moment, just as he was worried about himself, a pleasant voice of evolution sounded. "All right, host, don't walk back and forth here anymore. Some of you are giving me a headache." Although the voice was cold and emotionless, Lin Ray knew that this was the system's appearance. Thinking of the system, Lin Ray quickly asked about the little dragon situation. "How is the little dragon? Is he okay? Is he okay? I want to see him. Where is he? I..." Instantly, one question after another came pouring out of Linley's mouth. When the system heard this, it hurriedly stopped him. "Stop, stop, stop. Can you not ask so many questions like a sissy? You know how annoying it is to ask so many questions." As soon as the system said this, Lin Ray was completely stunned. His eyes were full of disbelief because he could not believe that these words came out of the system's mouth at all. "The little dragon is fine. He entered a deep sleep because he exhausted his strength in the battle with that person. However, he asked me to take care of you before he entered a deep sleep. As for the matter of summoning the spirits, his body could not withstand it at all at that time. If the spirits were forcefully summoned, it was very likely that his body would directly collapse and disappear into time. There would no longer be a little dragon in this world. The system also entered a deep sleep because of this and gave birth to a weapon spirit." Chapter 569. Hearing this, Lin Ray was shocked. He didn't expect things to be like this. In contrast, Lin Ray regretted it. He regretted bombarding the underworld river for no reason before, which caused the little dragon to become like this. But it was useless to regret. Lin Ray was very glad about what the system said. He was glad that the little dragon was fine. Otherwise, he would feel guilty for the rest of his life. "Okay, you don't have to be like this. He's fine. If he really recovers, he should be able to recover in less than 500 years. However, during these 500 years, he won't come out of seclusion. During this time, you can come to me for anything." Hearing this, although Lin Ray felt guilty, he still knew about the matter of coming to the world of spirits and souls. At the same time, according to when the little dragon came to the world of spirits and souls, he didn't want to stay here for too long. He didn't want him to stay here any longer, so he asked the system. "System, do you know how to summon souls? Since the little dragon can't do anything, then I'll do it happily. I can't stay here for 500 years. Moreover, the little dragon told me to leave quickly after summoning souls and not to stay here for too long." Ah! It knew that Lin Ray would ask this question. Suddenly, it quickly answered Lin Ray's question. "Well, I know this. In fact, it's very simple. Although the little dragon is fast, it will hurt a few bodies and hurt the origin of his body. This price is too great. I advised him at the beginning, but he didn't listen and said that Jinling was important to you." Hearing this, Linley was startled. Then, he slowly began to feel disappointed. His disappointment was mixed with guilt. However, the system didn't stop and said again, "If you want to summon souls, in this world of spirits and souls, there is one thing that can help you. Of course, it's very simple for me, but for you." At this point, the system didn't continue. At this moment, Lin Ray, who heard its words, still knew the meaning behind it. "Well, I know. Tell me, no matter how big the price is, I must save Ling Er and the others. No matter what the price, I will do it." "Good, well said." Hearing Lin Ray's words, the system did not say anything to stop him. Instead, it said, "Since you've said so, then it'll be easy." Lin Ray did not speak, but quietly listened to the system. There is a reincarnation mirror in the ghost realm, on which is written the final destination of all the dead. When Ho-Tu created the ghost realm, he placed the reincarnation mirror on the reincarnation mountain in the ghost realm. Since then, the reincarnation mirror has become a sacred object in the ghost realm and is guarded by the 3 ghost kings. Upon hearing this, Lin Ray was filled with curiosity. Similarly, he had heard of the name Ho-Tuesday. On his planet, there were 12 ancestral sorcerers transformed from 12 drops of tainted blood when Pangu opened the sky. Among them, Ho Tu was the only one who possessed great merit and had cultivated a soul. At this moment, the system's voice sounded again. Although the strength of the 3 ghost kings is at the level of a quasi-sage, they are not any weaker than a sage. Therefore, if you want to get the mirror of reincarnation from them and open it to find the information of your wife and child, it is as difficult as ascending to the sky. What, 3 quasi-sages? After hearing the strength of the 3 ghost kings, Lin Rei was shocked by their strength. He did not expect that there would be such a powerful existence in the ghost realm. However, in contrast, he was not timid. Although he was shocked, he was also full of fighting spirit and determination. So what if they are quasi-sages? Since I am already here, if I can't do it, I will not go back. Quasi-sages? Oh, if they dare to stop me, I will kill them without mercy, not leaving a single one alive. When these words fell into the system's ears, it said 3 words, good. Well, if that's the case, then go ahead and do it. However, the prerequisite is that. However, on the condition that you withdraw the aura of a monarch god. It has been a long time since someone from the ghost realm came to the heavenly realm. If you go out like this, it will be very eye-catching. Therefore, it will be very eye-catching if you don't want to die so early. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei was immediately stunned. He was a cultivator, not a ghost cultivator. Whoosh, just when Lin Rei was in a dilemma, a golden light suddenly appeared and landed in front of him. Looking at the golden light, Lin Rei's face was filled with joy. This was not the first time such a situation had happened. Immediately, without hesitation, he reached out and held the jade slip in the golden light in his hand. Ghost art, ghost cultivation. The moment Lin Rei grabbed the jade slip, a memory that did not belong to him rushed into his mind. Suddenly, Lin Rei looked at it in shock. This was a cultivation method for ghost cultivation. Moreover, the power was not in a hurry. It was a venerable level cultivation method. Comparing it, Lin Rei could not help but be happy. Take this cultivation method first. Hurry up and improve your ghost cultivation. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to move an inch in the ghost realm. After saying this, the system's voice disappeared. In contrast, Lin Rei did not care. After all, he had asked for all the information he wanted. Phew, he spat out a mouthful of turbid air. Then, he flipped through the cultivation method for ghost art in his mind and began to cultivate. After all, he had the cultivation of a monarch god. Therefore, it was easy for him to cultivate ghost art. I didn't expect ghost art to be so special. It specializes in cultivating soul power. He could sense that after training in the way of the ghost, his spiritual energy had rapidly increased. Instantly, Linley laughed. At this moment, in the outside world, a group of people came to the restaurant where Lin Rei was in aggressively. Without saying a word, they walked in directly. At this moment, when the waiter who served Linley saw that someone had arrived, he hurriedly walked over. When he saw that the person who had just arrived was from the biggest tyrant family in whose city, he immediately frowned and wanted to hide to the side. Hey, what are you hiding for? Come here. And at that moment, when the middle-aged man leading the group saw the waiter, a gloomy power immediately took action. In an instant, the power transformed into a chain that instantly coiled around the waiter's neck. In an instant, a burst of power pierced through the chain and directly pulled the waiter to the middle-aged man's side. Master Hu, I was wrong. Please spare me. Feeling the pain coming from his neck, the waiter immediately knelt down and kowtowed to the middle-aged man called Master Hu. Hurry up and tell me where the person who carried a little girl is staying. Hurry up and bring me there. If you do this well, I can consider letting you go. What? Hearing Master Hu's words, the waiter was shocked. His face was filled with disbelief and embarrassment. It was not only because of the rules of the restaurant. More importantly, the middle-grade spirit stone that Lin Ray gave him was just enough for him to buy herbs to cure his mother's illness. What's wrong? You don't want to? Seeing the waiter's hesitant appearance, his face turned cold and he was about to attack. Just at that moment, a fat man with a big head and big ears walked out from inside. When he saw that the waiter was about to be beaten up, he hurriedly went up to stop him. Master Hu, wait. I'll bring you to that kid. You're a great man and don't hold a grudge against me. Just let the little dragon go. It's not easy for him. He has an old mother at home. Master Hu's face was filled with displeasure at the sudden appearance of the middle-aged man. However, when he thought of the spirit stone that Lin Ray had, Master Hu nodded and agreed. He took back the energy chain around the waiter's neck. Seeing this, the fat young man hurriedly went up and helped the waiter up. He reprimanded the waiter, "What's wrong with you? If I didn't save you just now, you would have died. Have you thought about what your mother would do if you died?" Hearing the young man's words, the waiter's face was filled with guilt, but his eyes were filled with determination. Xiaomi, my mother is talking to me. One must know how to repay kindness. That person did me a favor, so I can't just stand by and watch her die. Hearing this, the young man called Xiaomi was helpless. He let go of the waiter and turned around to lead the way for Master Hu and the others to the backyard where Lin Ray lived. Seeing this, the waiter called Little Dragon sat down powerlessly. Sigh. I'm sorry, I can't do anything. I'm no match for such a person. Saying this, Little Dragon's face was filled with guilt. He then stood up and followed the middle-aged man. As for this scene, Linley, who was in the system, had no idea at all. Forget it. I already have the ghost aura on me. I hope they won't sense the cultivation aura on me. Saying this, Lin Ray exited the system. When he reappeared, Lin Ray had already returned to his room. Seeing that little Lin Ray had not woken up yet, Lin Ray smiled and wanted to close his eyes to rest. However, things often did not go as he expected. At this moment, the array around the house was triggered. Following this, there was a bang-bang sound. Suddenly, Lin Ray's eyes opened, revealing a murderous look. Then, Lin Ray stood up, pushed the door open, and walked out of the room. However, in order to not wake little Lin Ray up, Lin Ray closed the door and looked up at the group of people that Xiaomi had brought with him. After glancing at them, Lin Ray noticed two of them. Weren't they the guards at the entrance of whose city? Suddenly, Lin Ray understood the ins and outs of this matter. At the end of the day, it was all for the sake of robbery. In contrast, Lin Ray's face became even gloomier. He did not want to cause trouble and attract attention, but someone just had to cause trouble for him. At the same time, Master Hu also saw Lin Ray coming out. He immediately asked the two people behind him, "Is it him?" The two guards who were questioned immediately came to Grandpa Hu's side and nodded happily. Yes, Grandpa Hu, it's him. He's the one who gave me 10 mid-grade spirit stones. Let me ask you, a person who can take out 10 spirit stones so casually can't only have so few spirit stones on him. Hearing this, Grandpa Hu's face broke into a sinister smile. His eyes were filled with greed as he looked at Linley. His voice was very sharp as he said to Linley, "Kid, obediently hand over the spirit stones you stole from my Hu family." Chapter 570. Hearing this, Lin Ray's heart turned extremely cold. He really didn't know how to deal with this kind of person. "Did you hear that, kid? My master Hu asked you to hand over the item. Are your ears stuffed with donkey hair or what? Hurry up." In order to show his status, the subordinate who came with Master Hu saw that Lin Ray didn't speak. His face suddenly darkened. He didn't step forward and directly started to order Lin Ray. At this moment, when Master Hu saw his subordinate like this, a happy smile appeared on his face. Not bad. Go back and receive your reward." "Yes, Master Hu. I understand." Hearing Master Hu's words, the man's face became excited. It was obvious that he usually made mistakes like this. Hee. Looking at the scene where they echoed each other, Lin Rei's heart began to feel less depressed. What are you laughing at? Hurry up and hand over the item. Maybe my Master Hu will consider letting you go. At most, he will break your 2 legs and 2 hands. The subordinate spoke again. Lin Rei didn't say anything to these words. He raised his hand and a majestic ghost chi was instantly released from his palm. Suddenly, a huge palm suddenly appeared in front of the clamoring man. Then, with a bang, the man was instantly sent flying. What gave Lin Rei a headache was that because he had just cultivated the Ghost Realm's cultivation method, he didn't control it for a while. The strength of his palm was a little too strong. When the man who was sent flying by himself flew alone, the entire wall of the restaurant was smashed through by the flying man. Hiss, when this scene appeared, everyone couldn't react. They were stunned in place for the first time. Even the waiter, Little Dragon, knew about the restaurant. The building of this restaurant was blessed by a weapon refiner. It wasn't easy to break through it, but now such a scene appeared. Master Hu was even more shocked. He knew the strength of his subordinates, but now they didn't have the slightest strength to fight back. In comparison, Master Hu couldn't help but be vigilant. He wasn't the only one. Everyone present was the same. Except for Master Hu, the subordinates he brought along, as well as the 2 gatekeepers who betrayed Lin Rei, all took a step back at this moment. Their faces were timid and their eyes were filled with fear. You're too talkative. Looking at the person who had fainted, Lin Rei's expression relaxed a little. Then, he turned his gaze to the people who had come to cause trouble. So you've been hiding your strength all this while? At this moment, the arrogance in Grandpa Hu's eyes was gone, replaced by a hint of fear. What? Do you still want my snacks now? With that, Lin Rei relaxed. He waved his hand and a reclining chair appeared. Then, Lin Rei went to the reclining chair and lay down. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, Grandpa Hu's expression froze for a moment, and then a gloomy expression appeared on his face. Fellow Daoist, I am Hu Bing of the Hu clan. Previously, I heard from my subordinates that the clan's spirit stones were stolen. That's why I came here. But now, since the matter has been clarified, then, just as Hu Bing was about to turn around and leave, Lin Rei sneered, you think you're going to leave just like that? After creating such a good show, you're going to leave as soon as it started? I have a lot of spirit stones on me. Don't you think it's a pity to leave just like that? With that, Lin Rei waved his hand at an empty space beside him. Suddenly, a majestic and huge amount of spiritual energy appeared in an instant. Then, a small mountain of spirit stones appeared in front of everyone. Hiss! Suddenly, when the small mountain of spirit stones appeared, everyone could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. Their faces were filled with excitement. Supreme-grade spirit stones? How is this possible? How could there be supreme-grade spirit stones in Hu City? Who are you? At this moment, when Hu Bing saw the supreme-grade spirit stones, he was just as excited as his subordinates. After all, he was a high-level person and was not confused by the scene before him. Instead, he was worried about Lin Rei's identity. He looked at Lin Rei with a questioning gaze and his body could not help but tense up. How could he not be vigilant against such a generous person who casually took out so many supreme-grade spirit stones? You don't need to know about me. I can also not pursue today's matter. Hearing this, Hu Bing's face could not help but relax. However, after a while, when he heard Lin Rei's next words again, Hu Bing was stunned. Not pursuing the matter doesn't mean that it didn't happen. What do you want? He was not sure about the person who suddenly appeared in front of him. Moreover, to be able to have such wealth, the forces behind him must be very amazing, so he did not dare to act rashly. Tell me about your forces in the ghost realm, your family, your business, and some of the major events that happened. If you're done, I can forget about this matter and I'll even give you a certain reward. Of course, you can also choose another option, which is to pay the price for what you've done today. Although I'm not powerful enough, I can still turn this small lake city into a dead city. As soon as Lin Rei spoke, everyone could not help but retreat, especially Hu Bing. When he heard the last sentence, he had already confirmed that the person in front of him was definitely not simple. Not only that, but just that gaze just now already made him feel that he was about to explode. He had never felt this kind of feeling from some of the ancestors of the Hu clan. Suddenly, Hu Bing hated the two greedy people who told him about this matter. It could be said that he was gnashing his teeth in anger. He wished that he could kill them now. Yes, I'll do it now. As long as you want to know, I'll do it without hesitation. Hu Bing's current appearance was seen by Xiao Mi and the waiter Little Dragon, and they were shocked. Especially Xiao Mi, she was now beginning to regret her previous actions. Hearing Hu Bing's words, Lin Li didn't have the chance to speak to the others. With a wave of his hand, an array appeared, surrounding the entire restaurant. This place has already been set up by this sovereign's array. If you feel that you can escape, then this sovereign will not stop you. With that, Lin Rei closed his eyes and waited for Hu Bing to explain the major forces in the ghost realm to him. At this moment, except for Hu Bing, the waiter Little Dragon, and Xiao Mi, everyone who heard Lin Rei's words rushed out crazily at this moment. In contrast, Hu Bing did not stop his subordinates who were running out crazily. Seeing that there was no one here, Hu Bing was about to squat down and start explaining the situation of the major forces in the ghost realm to Lin Rei. However, at this moment, a scream was heard and rushed into the ears of Hu Bing and the other two. Ah! No, I'm not leaving. There were screams and pleas for mercy, but in the end, there was no sound after a while. In contrast, Hu Bing could not help but take a look outside. Hiss! After a while, when Hu Bing retracted his divine sense, his face turned pale. At this moment, the scene outside was very bloody. Everyone who ran out had become cold corpses. No, those people could no longer be called corpses because other than some intestines and blood, the rest of their feet were all broken limbs. The scene was azure hell. Even in the ghost realm, they had never seen such a bloody scene. In contrast, Hu Bing was more respectful to the mysterious person in front of him. He did not dare to neglect him. He did not want to become a member of the broken limbs. As for Xiao Mi and Little Dragon, they did not dare to stay any longer. Under Hu Bing's instructions, they left. However, they did not go to the front. Instead, they found a room far away from here and went in. They closed the door and did not come out. Lin Li naturally knew what was going on. Although his eyes were closed, he had been using his divine sense to observe this entire process. Seeing Hu Bing like this, Lin Rei simply retracted his divine sense and completely relaxed. At this moment, Hu Bing's voice came. Senior, the forces in the ghost realm are actually very simple. The strongest are the three ghost kings of the Holy Land. Below them are the Blood Soul Sect, the Soul Devourer Sect, the Soul Training Sect, and the most powerful sect, the Soul Cultivation Sect. These sects are the biggest sects in the ghost realm after the three ghost kings. Speaking of this, Hu Bing could not help but look at Lin Rei who was lying on the recliner. Then, he organized his words and began to explain. The four major sects, each sect has a powerful ghost king. Although they are also called ghost kings, their strength is not comparable to the great ghost kings. Speaking of this, Hu Bing took a breath and continued, below them are the clans. There are not many clans in the ghost realm. There are only the Jin clan, Shui clan, Xiao clan, Wu clan, and Hong clan. Each clan leader is appointed by the previous clan leader. Of course, there are exceptions. Unless there is a ghost general in the younger generation in their clan, they will automatically withdraw and give up their position. Listening to these matters in the ghost realm, Lin Rei was shocked. The realm of a ghost king, according to a rough calculation, should be at the level of a divine master in the divine realm. Thinking of this, Lin Rei's heart became dignified. Thinking of finding the reincarnation mirror and opening it, this task made Lin Rei feel very heavy. At this moment, Hu Bing in the outside world did not stop talking at all. Think of a small clan like our Hu clan. In the entire ghost realm, it can be said that there are tens of millions of us. There are countless of us. We can only dominate in the extreme north of Hucheng. If we were in the center, not to mention dominating, even a beggar would be stronger than our Hu clan. Hearing this, Lin Rei could not help but laugh. He did not expect Hu Bing to be so desperate to survive. He even compared his clan to a beggar. Hu Bing didn't notice Lin Li's smile at all, but he just wanted to tell him what he knew quickly so that he could live. Although they were born in the ghost realm, the only disadvantage here was that if they died here, they would really die, and there would be no chance for them to be reborn. Chapter 571. Well, that's about it. Let's talk about the spirit stones. Why do you all care so much about spirit stones? Logically speaking, these spirit stones should be useless to you all. Why are you all so obsessed with them? Well, senior, don't you know? Hearing Lin Rei's words, Hu Bing was stunned. His eyes were full of doubts. At this moment, he began to wonder if the person in front of him was from the ghost realm. Everyone in the ghost realm knew about the spirit stones. Even a 3-year-old child knew about it. But his boyfriend didn't know, and he had so many spirit stones. Just say it. Don't talk so much nonsense. Just say it. Yes, yes, yes. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Hu Bing's head suddenly overflowed with cold sweat. Then he wiped off the cold sweat and told Lin Rei about the spirit stones. Although we can't use the spirit stones, we don't know when the 3 ghost kings began to collect them crazily. But there aren't many of them in the ghost realm, and we can't go to the divine realm. Oh. Hearing about the 3 ghost kings, Lin Rei opened his eyes. Then he squinted and asked, "Do you know why the 3 ghost kings are collecting the spirit stones?" Senior, you're overestimating my Hu clan. We're just following orders from above. A low-grade spirit stone can be exchanged for 100 mid-grade ghost crystals, and a mid-grade spirit stone can be exchanged for 100 high-grade ghost crystals. So, from now on, whenever the ghost world sees spirit stones, they'll fight to the death. Oh. Hearing this, Lin Rei was puzzled. He didn't know about the 3 ghost kings collecting the spirit stones, but he was determined to get the reincarnation mirror. So, he wanted to know more about the 3 ghost kings. But looking at the place in front of him, it was impossible to know more about it. Well, let's talk about other things. Hearing that Lin Rei didn't hold on to this matter, Hu Bing was relieved. Yes, I will tell you all I know. Hu Bing said, in addition to the major forces in the ghost realm, there are also the Alchemy Guild, Formation Guild, Talisman Guild, and Weapon Refining Guild. What? There are 4 major unions in the world of spirits and souls? Hearing Hu Bing's words, Lin Rei was completely shocked. He didn't expect the 4 major unions to have business in the ghost realm. At this moment, when he heard Lin Rei say this sentence, his face changed. What he thought before was true. The person in front of him was really not from the ghost realm. At this moment, there was a problem. If it was not the ghost realm, then where was it? Was it the devil realm or the human realm? But when he felt the pure ghost chi on it, he was puzzled. As for Lin Rei, he felt that he was acting strangely, but he quickly regained his composure. However, he knew that his identity had already been suspected by the person in front of him. Following which, Lin Rei lay back down. Then let's talk about the 4 major guilds. Do they have a branch in Lake City? Hearing Lin Rei's question, Hu Bing quickly replied, yes, there are. There are branches of the 4 major unions in Hu City, and the 4 major unions are also influential in the ghost realm. As long as they are unhappy, the entire ghost realm will suffer. Oh. Why? Lin Rei was a little puzzled by Hu Bing's words. He didn't understand what he meant. Oh, It's like this. Cultivating in the ghost realm is all elixirs provided by them. Because the ghost realm itself belongs to the En attribute, and flames are our natural enemy, we can't cultivate professions such as alchemy or weapon refining. Hearing this, Lin Rei suddenly understood. He didn't believe that there wasn't even a single alchemist in the ghost realm. Hu Bing, who knew that Lin Rei was puzzled, immediately said, however, there are exceptions. For example, our ghost realm's powerhouse, Old Man Tianquan, and his disciples are all from the ghost realm, but they can refine elixirs. Therefore, the four major unions can be said to be important and indispensable to the ghost realm. Regarding this, Linley didn't care about the old man of the heavenly spring that Hu Bing was mouthing. He already knew what he wanted to know. Okay. Alright, in that case, has there been any strange things in the ghost realm in recent years? Regarding this question, Hu Bing basically answered without thinking. Yes, and it's in Lake City. Oh. With regards to Hu Bing's actions, Linley believed him. Whatever Hu Bing said at the first moment was definitely true. If not, then this person was a very good liar. Yes, but this is just a legend. I don't know when it was passed down, but it's said that there's a Xia Feng under my Lake City. It's a remnant from ancient times. Because it killed millions of people, it was sealed here by a mighty person. Hearing Hu Bing's words, Lin Rei had a sneer on his face. He originally thought that this matter was true, but how could an ancient murderer survive in the ghost realm for so long? Moreover, Xia Feng belonged to the fire attribute. Here, fire could restrain everything. Therefore, he didn't believe that this matter was true. Hee, kid, don't doubt it. This matter might be true. Huh. At this moment, the system's voice came out of nowhere, but the information it brought was also very important. Are you sure this is true? Lin Rei didn't want to believe the system's words because this matter was very unreasonable. Alas. Okay, I won't argue with you. This matter is indeed true. Moreover, I see that the aura of the fire phoenix is getting stronger and stronger. I think it won't take long for it to break out of seclusion. Therefore, I want to say that if there's nothing else, you should leave quickly. You're not a match for the fire phoenix. Besides, I'm in a hurry to tell you that originally there was a fire phoenix with a pure bloodline underground. However, due to the changes of the dragon phoenix tribulation, she had too many people. Therefore, the originally pure flames became evil. Therefore, what he said should be true. Hearing this, Lin Rei was completely stunned. Wasn't the dragon phoenix tribulation the immeasurable tribulation of the untainted land? Thinking of this, Lin Rei couldn't help but be taken aback. He began to reevaluate this matter. As for the system, its voice disappeared the moment it finished speaking. In comparison, Lin Rei didn't have a chance. At this moment, Hu Bing, who had been observing Lin Rei, looked at him with a face full of excitement and depression. Hu Bing was stunned by his shocked expression. When he came back to his senses, Lin Rei looked at Hu Bing. Most of his anger towards him had disappeared. Of course, this was because Hu Bing had explained the forces of the ghost realm to him. Okay, I won't argue with you about today's matter. Take these things. Remember, I don't want others to know about my existence. Moreover, if this matter is done well, I may consider saving the lives of the people in Lake City. Of course, if it's not done well, you know the result. As he spoke, the smile on Linley's face instantly turned sinister and bloodthirsty. The lives of the people in Lake City? When he heard that Lin Rei was going to give him all the supreme-level spirit stones in front of him, he was very excited. Not only did he save his life, but he also got so many spirit stones. However, after hearing the latter part of the sentence, his excitement and joy disappeared instantly. That's right. With that, Lin Rei smiled. He didn't hide the matter about Xia Feng. Anyway, it was no secret here. Then, he said. What you said about Xia Feng before is true. Also, let me tell you a piece of bad news. Take this news as a reward for telling me so much just now, Lin Rei said for a while. Hu Bing was completely stunned. However, when he heard that the matter about Xie Feng was true, he couldn't help but be shocked. What news? Although he asked this question, he could vaguely feel that something bad was about to happen. Hee, it's nothing. It's just that Xie Feng's strength is getting stronger and stronger. It may not be long before she comes out of seclusion. What? After hearing the news that Fire Phoenix was going to come out of seclusion, Hu Bing screamed in shock. His face was full of horror, panic, and fear. Senior, is what you said true? Is Xie Feng really going to come out? Looking at Hu Bing's fearful expression, Lin Rei didn't say anything more. He waved his hand and the reclining chair next to him disappeared instantly. Then, he walked out. Before leaving, he couldn't help but remind Hu Bing, don't tell anyone about this if you want to live. Of course, maybe I will be merciful and save your lives when the time comes. At this moment, Lin Rei's figure was still in the restaurant, but his melodious voice came into Hu Bing's ears. What should we do? Hu Bing, who was left in the same place, looked timid. He didn't know what to do now that he knew about such an important matter. He wanted to spread the news and ask the Hu family to move out of Hu City immediately. However, when he thought of the mysterious man's words before he left, he hesitated. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had left the restaurant, instantly used his consciousness to find the location of the Alchemy Guild in Hu City. Then, in a flash, he arrived at the entrance of the guild. At this moment, one of the guards standing guard at the entrance, upon seeing Lin Li suddenly appear, said respectfully, "We pay our respects to you, senior. Please come in, senior." Okay. Lin Rei glanced at the two of them and didn't say anything more. He quickly walked into the Alchemy Guild. At this moment, with a wave of his hand, a purple robe appeared in his hand and he put it on. When he arrived at the Alchemy Guild, he saw that there weren't many people inside. There were only a dozen people. However, what surprised Lin Rei was that in a corner, there was a little girl about 17 or 18 years old. She had a determined look on her face and was holding a yin flame in her hand. Facing the alchemy furnace in front of her, the little girl's fearless look aroused Lin Rei's curiosity. Looking at the little girl refining an elixir, Lin Rei chuckled. Then, he walked slowly to the little girl's side. With a light sniff, he knew that the little girl was refining an earth-level medium-grade healing elixir, the rejuvenation elixir. Sigh. Chapter 572. With a sigh, Lin Rei couldn't help but nod his head. It was because the little girl's refining method and the order of refining the pill were wrong. Even if she refined it, the effect would at most be 1/10 of the medicinal property of a real mid-stage earth-stage pill. Although it looked like a mid-stage earth-stage pill on the outside, it wasn't on the inside. At this moment, the little girl who was refining the pill heard someone sigh. She immediately turned her head to look at Lin Rei, who was already behind her, and asked in confusion. "Why are you talking about qi? Did I refine the wrong pill? Is there something wrong?" At this moment, the little girl was not in a hurry. She was originally annoyed by refining the pill, but the moment she saw Lin Rei, her anger disappeared. Instead, she was shameless to ask. Looking at the little girl's attitude, Lin Rei smiled and nodded. His eyes revealed a look of appreciation. Then he slowly explained to her, "The person who taught you the refining method probably didn't really teach you. Although it can also help you reach the heaven stage quickly, the consequence is that your veins will be blocked by the yin fire in your body. When you reach the late stage of the heaven stage and break through to the king realm, the yin fire will completely erupt. You should know the consequences without me telling you." In this situation, Lin Rei knew it when he saw her refining method again. Although this method could help you quickly condense your spiritual strength to reach the heaven stage, this method was indeed incomplete. The more you practiced, the deeper you would sink until you were finally devoured by the yin fire and died. Of course, the person who taught this method either had a grudge against the little girl or her family. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so crazy. At this moment, the little girl's face changed when she heard Lin Ray's words. Her face was still innocent before, but in the next moment, it was filled with horror as if she believed him. Moreover, not only that, the order in which you put the ingredients into the rejuvenation pill is wrong. Therefore, the pill you refine like this will at most have 1/10 of the medicinal effect of a real earth-level pill. Therefore, it's better if you don't refine it in the future. Of course, this is the advice of a passerby like me. If you listen to it, it will be there. If you don't, it won't be there. After speaking, Lin Ray did not stay any longer. He turned around and walked towards the depths of the Alchemist Guild. Lin Ray had been to the Alchemist Guild before. Moreover, Lin Ray discovered that the Alchemist Guild, regardless of whether it was in the immortal world, God Realm, or God Realm, their decorations were all the same. There was not the slightest change. Along the way, Lin Ray didn't see anyone from the Union looking at him. No, it could be said that Lin Ray basically didn't see anyone from the Union. In contrast, Lin Ray's curiosity was piqued. Such a large guild, yet there wasn't a single guard. He was very curious as to what these people were doing. When he reached the end of the corridor, he suddenly smelled a very strange but very familiar smell. After smelling it, Lin Ray froze in place. He closed his eyes and carefully recalled the origin of this smell. After a few minutes, Lin Ray, who had his eyes closed, suddenly stared blankly. This was because in his memory, there was always this smell. It was the medicinal fragrance of the king-level pill, colored glass pill. However, while he was thinking, Lin Ray smelled a trace of burnt smell. Quick, the colored glass pill absolutely can't be ruined. If this batch of medicinal ingredients is ruined by us, the president will definitely skin us old fellows alive. At this moment, a burst of voices came from the room at the end of the corridor. From the words and the medicinal fragrance in the air, it was easy to determine that they were refining pills. However, from the medicinal fragrance in the air, if they didn't add in some spirit herbs that could stabilize the medicinal properties, this batch of colored glass pills would definitely explode. Yeah, this is already the 4th time today. The president only brought back so many spirit herbs. If this batch of pills can't be refined, our Alchemist Guild will be closed down. At this moment, bursts of spiritual energy came out of the room. Suddenly, Lin Ray's face changed. His guess was correct. Thanks to the alchemists, they were indeed cultivators, not people from the ghost realm. Suddenly, at this moment, the medicinal fragrance in the air was chaotic. Feeling this, Lin Ray frowned. With a wave of his hand, the door was broken open in an instant. Lin Ray ignored the several old fellows who were angry because the door was broken open. Instead, he flashed to the side of the alchemy furnace, stretched out his hand, and a majestic spiritual energy was used in an instant. Boom, the illusory spirit blood fire appeared in an instant. Suddenly, the temperature of the entire space began to rise sharply. For the sudden appearance of this scene, several alchemists in the room frowned. Although they were angry when they heard that the door was broken open, when they saw the illusory spirit blood fire, their faces became excited. What kind of flame is this? Why does it give me a very gloomy, but very sacred feeling? Moreover, the temperature of this flame is so good that even the ghost chi has to retreat. Well, yes, what kind of flame is this? And who is this person? Looking at his technique, it seems to be very advanced. I have never seen it before. Hearing this, the other alchemists looked at Lin Ray's alchemy technique. The speed was fast. Before, they could keep up with Lin Ray's rhythm, but later, Lin Ray's speed became faster and faster, and their eyes gradually left the rhythm of Lin Ray's technique. It felt better. The faces of the old fellows around were very uncomfortable. Lin Ray felt good in his heart. Then, his eyes only stared at the alchemy furnace in front of him. Then, the fire increased, and a drop of true supreme water appeared in an instant. Lin Rei threw it into the alchemy furnace. According to Lin Rei's technique, the true supreme water slowly merged with the colored glass pellet that was about to break. Shwa, in an instant, the moment the true supreme water merged with the colored glass pellet, Lin Rei's fire increased again and began to refine. At this moment, the surrounding alchemists were already stunned. They suddenly felt that the alchemy techniques they learned were fake. Compared with the person in front of them, one was an eagle in the sky and the other was a worm crawling on the ground. There was no comparison at all. However, after Lin Rei came in, their eyes were all attracted by Lin Rei's alchemy technique from beginning to end. They didn't notice that Lin Rei was wearing an emperor-level alchemist's robe. A few minutes later, Lin Rei withdrew the illusory spirit blood fire in his hand. Suddenly, more than a dozen colored glass pellets shot out in an instant. Then, Lin Rei took out a white jade bottle. With a wave of his hand, more than a dozen pellets automatically entered the bottle that Lin Rei had already prepared. A gorgeous performance ended, but now the alchemists behind Lin Rei couldn't calm down for a long time. After doing all this, Lin Rei turned around and looked at the alchemists who were in a daze. Lin Rei coldly snorted. Suddenly, a thunderous sound rang in their ears, and they suddenly woke up. Say, Senior, we have eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. We didn't know that it was Senior Alchemist who added it. Please forgive us for our mistake. Seeing their attitude, Lin Rei's expression relaxed slightly. He then said to everyone in a deep voice, "You don't have to be so nervous. I was just passing by and came here to take a look. In the end, when I walked to the door, I saw that you were so wooden, so I couldn't hold back." Hee. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the alchemists smiled embarrassedly and stopped talking. They lowered their heads and stood in front of Lin Rei, as if waiting for Lin Rei to speak. "Alright, these colored glass pellets are for you." After saying that, Lin Rei stretched out his hand and a jade bottle instantly appeared in front of one of the alchemists. It floated in the air, waiting for the old man to receive it. Thank you, Senior." Hearing this, the old men were overjoyed. They didn't think that Lin Rei would be so easy to talk to. In comparison, their impression of Lin Rei increased once again. Reaching out his hand to receive the jade bottle, he opened the bottle cap and took a light sniff. Immediately, he was stunned. His shocked expression made the other old men beside him stand up. Immediately after, the other old men sniffed one after another. Like the first old man, they were all stunned. Their eyes were filled with shock. Looking at them, Lin Rei didn't have the chance. Looking at them, he found a place in the room where he could sit and sat down comfortably. After a long time, the shocked old men finally came to their senses. "Top grade, this is a top grade pellet?" They looked at Lin Rei doubtfully, as if they wanted to confirm the answer that they already believed. Not bad. If you didn't spoil this pellet, its grade might be even better, and the time it takes to refine it would be faster. When those words came out, everyone couldn't help but feel ashamed. Lin Rei's words were undoubtedly about how bad their alchemy skills were. We also researched it ourselves. Since the Divine Realm and the Ghost Realm were not the same, our alchemy skills were researched by ourselves, so, hearing their words, Lin Rei came to a realization. It wasn't that they weren't good enough, but that they didn't cultivate any skills at all. Since you're so busy, I'll give this formation technique to you. I also came here from the Divine Realm. Because I had some things to do, I came back here. What, you came from the Divine Realm? Hearing Lin Rei's words, everyone was shocked. They were even more shocked than when they saw the top-grade pellet. The Divine Realm and the Ghost Realm had long been separated. Now, someone from the Divine Realm came. How could they not be shocked? Not bad. I'll say this in advance. It's very difficult for you to return to the Divine Realm. I came from the Yellow Springs. If you want to return, I'm afraid you'll be strangled to death by the spirit formation power before you even reach the Yellow Springs. After hearing Lin Ray's words, the crowd who originally had the same thoughts all became silent. They wanted to live more than return. Looking at them, Linley didn't hesitate any longer. He immediately explained the reason he had come. I came here for a reason. Of course, if this matter is handled well, I will impart to you all my knowledge of alchemy. Spiritual medicines, my own pill formulas, my techniques. I can give you all of them. Of course. Of course, if you can't help, then. Speaking to that point, Lin Ray didn't continue. He believed that even if he didn't say it, they would know what he meant. Chapter 573. Ah. Yes, yes, yes. When Lin Ray said this, their faces were filled with surprise. For such a condition, they, who had been in the god realm for a long time, still needed it very much. That's good. Seeing that they agreed, Lin Ray nodded and then asked everyone, who's in charge here? Where's your president? Replying to Senior, our president has gone to the ghost realm. He said that he will be back tomorrow. You see, hearing their words, Lin Ray frowned and then interrupted them. Forget it, don't wait for him. It's the same to ask you guys about this matter. Yes, we will do our best. With that, the alchemists all quieted down and quietly stood in place, waiting for Lin Ray to try. And then tell me why the 3 ghost kings want to collect spirit stones. I'm very curious about this. This. You know about this? Everyone's faces were filled with shock at Linley's question, and their faces were filled with astonishment. Looking at their appearance, Lin Ray knew that there must be something important that he didn't know. Hurry up and tell me what's going on. Why do the Ghost Kings want to collect spirit stones? Moreover, isn't the ghost realm rich in magic crystals? Why do they need to use spirit stones? After saying this, Lin Ray saw that their faces were filled with hesitation, and their eyes were filled with hesitation. It could be seen that they were struggling with their own hearts. However, this was not important to Lin Ray. What was important was that they said what he wanted to know. Time passed bit by bit. After eating for more than 10 minutes, the impatient Lin Ray stood up and pretended to leave. Since you want to die of old age here, then there's no need to say anything. I'll go ask someone else. I believe they'll be very willing to tell me. No. Seeing Lin Ray stand up, the elders immediately, they did not expect that Lin Ray would give up so easily. Oh, then tell me. My time is very precious. I don't have time to waste here with you. As he spoke, Lin Ray sat down again. He raised his head and looked at them quietly, waiting for their answers. All right, since that's the case, go ahead. Finally, seeing that they had come to a decision, Linley was extremely happy. In the face of interest, all defenses would crumble on their own. Senior, the 3 ghost kings are collecting spirit stones mainly to open the reincarnation mirror. Senior, you should have heard about this clearly. The power of the mirror of reincarnation is something that even a saint would have to give into. Hearing the reincarnation mirror, Lin Ray raised his eyebrows. He was shocked, but he quickly calmed down. At this moment, the old man who was speaking did not stop. They have been here for too long, so they want to live up there. Although they have the strength of a quasi-saint, they are not saints. Moreover, their talent is there. If they want to reach the saint realm, the journey ahead is very long. Therefore, they want to go to the god realm. They don't want to stay in this place where even birds don't shit. Originally, the Deep Earth Empress had set a rule for the reincarnation mirror. Only powerful spiritual energy could open the reincarnation mirror. The 3 ghost kings cultivated ghost chi, so they had no choice but to collect enough spirit stones. Only in this way could they break the barrier and enter the god realm. Hearing this, Lin Ray became more and more shocked. He did not expect the 3 ghost kings to have such an intention. Lin Ray's expression turned cold. Although he did not have much feelings for the god realm, if the god realm was controlled by the ghost kings, where would his sect go? He would not allow this to happen. Of course, this matter was mainly incidental. After all, this was how he went to the sacred mountain. Well, good. In that case, let's do it this way. As he spoke, Linley rose to his feet. He stretched out his hand, and a jade slip appeared in his hand. Within this jade slip was the formation technique he had learned in the past. I believe this formation method will be of great help to you. Of course, if there's anything you don't understand, you can find me at the inn at any time. Oh, by the way, my name is Lin Ray. As he spoke, Linley prepared to leave. But when he thought about how the demonic phoenix was about to emerge, Linley immediately came to a halt at the door, then turned and spoke to the elders. I forgot to tell you that whose city is about to experience the most terrifying tribulation in its history. If something goes wrong, the entire city, no, not only the city, everything around it will disappear. It will cease to exist. What? This. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the elders frowned and were shocked. They knew about Lin Ray's strength, so they did not doubt his words at all. Well, that's the situation. Of course, if you want to live, come and find me. I will stay here for a period of time. I will leave when the disaster is over. Hearing these words, the elders' faces lit up with joy. They hurriedly followed behind Linley. Lin Ray did not say much about their actions. He smiled and said, "If you want to follow me, then follow me. However, I will not pay for your room." Lin Ray left the room and walked out. The elders of the Alchemist Union followed behind him with their heads lowered. They looked like obedient children. You. Wait. Just as Linley arrived at the main hall of the Alchemist Union and was about to leave, a weak girl's voice suddenly rang out. Linley immediately stopped in his tracks and turned around to look at the source of the voice. He saw that the person who had spoken was the little girl who had given him a few words of advice when he had entered the Alchemist Union. Lin Ray looked at her curiously and asked, "What's the matter? Little Moo, why are you here?" At this time, a voice came out from one of the old alchemists. After hearing this voice, Lin Fan was stunned. Looking at the little girl, Lin Ray finally understood why the little girl's alchemy skills were so bad. Previously, he thought that her master had a grudge against her. Now, it seemed that it was not the case. "Master." When the little girl heard the elder's words, she quickly ran to the elder's side and stopped talking. At this moment, looking at the doting elder who was stroking the little girl's hair, he said to Lin Ray apologetically, "I'm sorry, senior. My little disciple is naughty. Please don't take offense. It's nothing." Hearing the elder's words, Lin Ray quickly shook his head and said, "When I came in, I saw her refining pills. So, I gave her some advice." "Oh. Is that true?" When the elder heard Lin Ray's words, he lowered his head and asked the little girl beside him. "Yes, it's true." In response, the old man laughed, and he laughed very happily. The little girl didn't understand. She just looked at these people with a confused expression, not knowing what was going on. Chapter 574. Alright, let's go. There's still a child waiting at home. As he spoke, Linley no longer paid any attention to them. He walked alone towards the hotel he had rented. Everyone in Lake City knew about the people from the Alchemy Guild. At this moment, other than the president and vice president of the Alchemy Guild, all the alchemists were present on the streets. Furthermore, they were following behind a child who looked to be in his 20s. Damn, am I seeing things? Are these really the stingy people from the Alchemy Guild? They're actually, yeah, this is a 1,000-year anecdote. People who think too highly of themselves are actually willing to put down their pride and follow behind a young man. It seems like this person isn't simple. Yes, that's right. It seems like Lake City is going to change. This won't do. I have to hurry back and inform my family. And just like that, amidst everyone's fingers and criticisms, Linley calmly walked on by himself, completely unafraid of everyone else. As for the disciples of the aristocratic families who saw this anecdote, they all rushed back to their families to inform them of what they saw. As for the ordinary people, they all felt wronged by Lin Ray. They all retreated and didn't dare to approach him. In comparison, Lin Ray could imagine how the people behind him were usually like. Finally, Lin Ray returned to the inn. He turned around and said to the alchemists from the Alchemy Guild, "Do as you see fit. I'll be leaving first. You can look for me anytime. Of course, I'll choose a time to teach you high-level cultivation techniques and my own high-level alchemy skills. Of course, it's only during this period of time. After I leave, you'll have to rely on yourselves." After saying that, Lin Ray nodded to everyone and walked into the room in the backyard. "Farewell, Senior. We understand." The moment Lin Ray stepped out of the door, he heard the voices behind him. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly and he left with a smile. At this moment, there was basically no one in Lake City who didn't know about these people from the Alchemy Guild. When the waiter Little Dragon and Xiaomi saw them, they quickly stood at the side respectfully and waited for service. After Lin Ray left, they did not return to their previous arrogant demeanor. Instead, they spoke to the waiter, Little Dragon, in a warm tone, "Give us 6 rooms, the best." Hearing this, the waiter Little Dragon and Xiaomi did not dare to delay in the slightest. Immediately, they led the crowd to the back. At this moment, when he arrived at the residence at the back, he discovered that Hu Bing was nowhere to be seen. He was still standing where he had left, motionless. His face was still filled with shock and panic. Looking at Hu Bing, Lin Ray smiled helplessly. "Why are you still here? Didn't I tell you to leave?" At this moment, the moment he heard Lin Ray's voice, Hu Bing woke up from his emotional state. The moment he saw Lin Ray, Hu Bing smiled bitterly. "Senior, stuttering." Looking at Hu Bing's current state, Lin Ray didn't have the time or opportunity. Back at the Union, he had been afraid that Lin Mei would wake up. Now, he was even more anxious. All right. If you have anything to say it later. I still have things to do. I won't keep you any longer." Saying this, Lin Ray brushed past Hu Bing and headed straight for his room. Opening the door, he looked at the bed, but there was no one on it. Seeing this, Lin Ray immediately panicked and released his divine sense, instantly scanning the entire room. At this moment, in a corner to the left of the door, Lin Mei was huddled up in a corner with tears on her face. She looked exhausted as she looked at him with her divine sense. Lin Ray's heart sank, and he retracted his divine sense. He immediately rushed to where Lin Mei was hiding. "Father." At this moment, Lin Mei, who was sitting on the ground and huddled up in a corner, saw Lin Ray again. She immediately rushed into his embrace and cried loudly. In comparison, Lin Ray felt very helpless. He did not know how to comfort his child. At this moment, Lin Ray regretted not bringing his wife with him. That way, things would be different. There was no other way. His appetite did not allow Lin Mei to continue crying. Lin Ray could only try his best to make his voice gentle. Then, he began to comfort her. "All right, Mei, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have left. Don't cry." Sob. Who knew that it would have been better if Lin Ray did not persuade her? But after he did, she immediately broke down. Her crying became even louder. In comparison, Lin Ray was even more helpless. At this moment, Hu Bing, who was still outside, heard the child's crying in the room. Suddenly, he had a headache. "Sigh, why are there children everywhere? It's enough for me at home. I didn't expect it to be the same here. It seems that Senior is no exception." With that, Hu Bing knew that Lin Ray did not have time at the moment. He immediately lifted his leg and left the restaurant. Time passed, bit by bit. Linley didn't know how much time had passed, but when Lin Mei began to cry, he sealed off his own sense of hearing. Perhaps it was because she was too tired, so the crying Lin Mei fell asleep at some point. Hee, she's still a child. Looking at Lin Mei's appearance, Lin Rei was envious. After all, this was something he could not do now. Every day, in addition to cultivating, he faced all kinds of problems. For this kind of eating, sleeping, and eating, crying to express her unhappiness, there was no more. Looking at Lin Rei, who was already sleeping soundly, he tiptoed to the bedside and gently placed Lin Mei, who was in his arms, on the bed. Everything happened last night. Lin Rei's mind moved. In an instant, 15, who was in the system, appeared. I, Blood 15, pay my respects to the young master. Looking at 15, Lin Rei smiled. He was really grateful to this man who had been silently contributing behind his back. Because of him, Lin Rei could appear here so peacefully. Okay. In the future, when you see me, you don't have to carry any luggage. No, young master's identity is honorable. Besides, this subordinate will not feel awkward. Before Lin Rei could finish, he heard Blood 15's rebuttal. Regarding this, Lin Rei was deeply helpless. Sigh. You can do whatever you want. Lin Rei said helplessly. Then, he pointed to Lin Mei on the bed and said, "This child has the body of the medicine god. She's a born genius in alchemy. But she's already my daughter. In the future, you can stay by her side. Of course. If you have time, you can teach her some of your battle techniques, spells, and cultivation methods." How can I do that? This subordinate, knowing that Blood 15 would refute, Lin Rei didn't wait for Blood 15 to finish his sentence. Alright, this matter is settled. If you teach her well, you'll be her master. Do you hear me? Upon hearing this, Blood 15's rebuttal was meaningless. In contrast, he could only nod in agreement. Oh, alright, then this subordinate will, okay, in the future, you don't have to call yourself a subordinate in front of me. You can do whatever I want. After that, Lin Rei didn't give him a chance to refute. He left the room and went outside. At that moment, Blood 15 lowered his head and glanced at Lin Mei on the bed. Then, he sat on the bed and waited for her to wake up. Phew, I'd better cultivate. Cultivate the ghost art to the monarch god level as soon as possible. That way, it'll be more beneficial when fighting the 3 ghost kings in the future. With that, Lin Rei came to a tree. With a wave of his hand, a bench appeared. Then, Lin Rei set up a monarch-level defensive formation around it. Then, he sat down on the bench and began cultivating. Time slowly passed. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. During this month, Lin Rei didn't cultivate at all. She woke up. Lin Mei, on the other hand, had cried and begged for Lin Rei in the beginning. In the end, under Blood 15's guidance, she began cultivating his blood art. This cultivation method was created by the Nether River Patriarch and was of a very high level. It was already at the god level. As for cloning techniques like the flying guillotine, Blood 15 didn't plan to teach Lin Mei. After all, she had only just started cultivating and wasn't suited for such high-level things. As for the alchemists of the Alchemy Union, the 17-year-old girl had been instructed by her master. Every day, she waited outside the formation where Lin Rei was cultivating in seclusion. Every day, she would write a letter for a month. During this short period of time, the president and vice president of the Alchemy Union had also arrived and learned about Lin Rei's situation. Then, they shamelessly joined the team waiting for Lin Rei. In comparison, the other elders were very helpless. A month passed by very quickly. During this period of time, Lin Li slowly began to train in the ghostly mantra, going from the very beginning to the 4th level. The ghost mantra had a total of 9 levels. It was not easy to cultivate to the 4th level. However, he did not know that if it was someone else cultivating it, they would be lucky if they could cultivate to the 2nd level in a month, let alone the 4th level. Phew, Lin Rei, who was in the formation, had already retreated from his cultivation and felt better. Other than the devil chi and spirit chi in his body, there was only the extremely pure ghost chi left. Feeling the majestic ghost chi, Lin Rei's face lit up. He stood up and stretched his body. With a wave of his hand, Lin Rei put away the bench. Hee, I didn't expect to cultivate for so long this time. TSK, if I go out, Mei will cry. As Lin Rei spoke, he couldn't help but tremble when he imagined that scene. But there was no other way. Even if he thought of this, he still had to go out. Then, with a wave of his hand, Lin Rei put away the formation. When he put away the formation, Lin Rei was stunned by the first scene he saw. He saw that the little girl sitting on the ground not far away from the formation was looking at him with her bright and piercing eyes. In contrast, Lin Rei was stunned. He didn't expect this situation. Chapter 575. Say. Senior, you finally came out. At this moment, when the girls saw Lin Rei for the first time, her eyes lit up and she immediately jumped up and quickly came to Lin Rei's side and bowed respectfully. Yes, you are. For the little girl's actions, Lin Rei really didn't understand and immediately asked. Oh, it's like this. Senior, you have been in seclusion for a month. During this month, my master came to find you several times, but you were always in seclusion. Our union's president and vice president have also come and are now in the living room with you. Hearing this, Lin Rei understood everything. So they let a little girl come here to guard for them. In contrast, Lin Rei's good impression of those old things decreased a little. He didn't want to help them like before, but after all, he had promised. Well, let's go. Take me to see them. I also want to see what level your union's president is. Hearing this, the little girl's face lit up. She immediately turned around and led Lin Rei to the living room. Along the way, the little girl was submissive. She was not like the little girl he saw in the union before. As for Lin Rei, he didn't speak. After all, the two of them were too big. Soon, following the little girl to the living room. When Lin Rei's figure appeared in the living room, all the old people sitting in the living room had their eyes lit up. They immediately stood up and bowed to Lin Rei. All the alchemists of the union greet Senior. Looking at them, Lin Rei responded coldly and then came to the seat and sat down. Senior, Junior Shu Yang is the union's president. This is Vice President Mu Ming. Lin Rei, who was sitting in the seat, heard the two people who he hadn't seen before introduce themselves. Lin Mei didn't even raise her eyes, but at this moment, her divine sense instantly came out and began to investigate them. As for Jiang Ning, he could sense an enormous divine sense probing his body, but he didn't move at all. He just allowed Lin Li to do as he pleased. Not long after, Lin Li retracted his divine sense. His expression was cold and his tone was even colder. Not bad, one is a god king and one is a divine ancestor. Their alchemy skills are not bad. Both of them reached peak late stage king stage at the same time. Hiss. When he heard Lin Rei tell him all the information about them, he immediately sucked in a breath of cold air and nodded without hesitation. Yes. Senior is indeed formidable. You're able to see through our cultivation with a single glance. However, at this moment, the two of them looked hesitant. Lin Rei frowned and asked in a deep voice, But what about it? When they heard Lin Rei's question, the two of them hurriedly voiced their doubts. Senior, there are some things that we don't understand. How did you know our alchemy skills? When the two of them asked this, the other alchemists looked over curiously, waiting for Lin Rei's answer. Hearing this, Lin Li began to answer without hesitation. You all have the medicinal smell of a top-grade king-level pill, the Raging Flame pill. Furthermore, you don't have such powerful spiritual fluctuations. More importantly, you don't have the medicinal fragrance of a pill of a higher grade than king level. When they heard Lin Ray's answer, everyone immediately understood the matter. Alright, since you're here, let's start from the beginning. After saying that, Lin Ray took out 3 jade slips from his storage ring and placed them on the table. These 3 jade slips contain all the spirit herbs I've collected from Emperor-level alchemists. You can go and study them first. When you've mastered these spirit herbs, it won't be long before you can break through to the next realm. As for the formation method, it's also inside. You can practice it together. Hearing this, everyone's eyes were fixed on the 3 jade slips on the table. Everyone looked at them with burning eyes. Except for the vice president who had a greedy look in his eyes, there was nothing else in the eyes of the others except burning eyes. In comparison, Linley was completely disappointed in Mu Ming. Still, Linley didn't try to stop Mu Ming from sharing his experience. Many thanks, Senior. We'll remember it. We'll definitely cultivate well and strive to become Emperor-level alchemists as soon as possible. Seeing the determination in Kamen's eyes, Lin Ray's face finally showed a trace of a smile. Alright, you can leave. I'll be in seclusion often in the future, so if you have any matters, you can look for my guard, Blood 15. He's in my room. Hearing this, everyone didn't dare to continue and immediately left. At this time, one of the old men and the little girl stayed behind and didn't leave. Seeing the old man's hesitant look, Lin Ray was anxious for him. Speak, what's the matter? You're already so old, why are you still hesitating? Hearing Lin Ray's words, the old man's expression became awkward. He immediately said, Senior, it's like this. I'm afraid my little disciple won't have a future if she follows me. I think. Hearing this, Linley knew what he was going to say next. He didn't wait for him to finish. Lin Ray hurriedly shook his head and politely refused, I'm really sorry, I don't have time. Moreover, I still have 6 or 7 disciples to take care of, so, hearing this, the old man swallowed the words he was about to say. In response, when the little girl beside him heard Linley's rejection, she immediately frowned. Her originally smiling face instantly turned cold. Then Senior. The old man didn't want to give up and hurriedly begged again, Senior, this junior doesn't have extravagant hopes that you'll accept my little disciple as your disciple, but it's really a waste for this child to follow me. If she can be a maid by your side, as long as you have time to give her a few pointers, you can. Seeing the old man's expression, Lin Ray felt awkward. The old man's words were something Lin Ray had never thought about, but he was right. This child's talent in alchemy was indeed very high. Moreover, she possessed the Yin flame, something that no one else could possess. However, he truly didn't have time. After all, this place was going to experience a disaster soon. He also had to increase his cultivation, or he would have to nurture everyone here. Of course, the most important reason was that he wanted to take Xie Feng as his mount. After thinking it over, Lin Ray's eyes lit up. He immediately thought of Blood 15, who was in his room. Lin Ray immediately smiled and said, how about this? Although this sovereign can't teach her anything, this sovereign's guard is a divine monarch and is extremely powerful. If you don't mind, I don't mind. As long as this child can learn something useful, I won't let her down. As the old man spoke, tears streamed down his face as he patted the little girl's back. He had her kneel and kowtow to Lin Ray in gratitude. Don't. Let's not talk about this in the future. Moreover, I'm not the one teaching my little disciple. As he spoke, Lin Ray stood up. That's enough. You can go. He's currently imparting a cultivation method to my little girl. You can go and tell him that I said so. Let this little girl cultivate with my little girl in the future. As he spoke, Lin Ray walked out the door. When the old man heard this, he immediately thanked him profusely. Thank you, Senior. Thank you, Senior. Hearing the words of thanks from behind him, Linley revealed a hint of a smile, and then left without looking back. Host, I have something to tell you. Just as Linley left the living room, the system's cold, synthetic voice rang out. Linley's body froze for a moment before returning to normal. He went back to the living room and found a place to sit down. Then, he set up an array. With a thought, he entered the system. When he arrived at the picturesque landscape of the system, Lin Ray ignored the scenery in front of him and asked anxiously, "What's wrong? What's the matter? Did something happen to Xiaolong?" As for the system, the first thing that Lin Ray thought of was the little dragon. He was very nervous. He was afraid that something had happened to the little dragon. No. Two decisive, straightforward words. Instantly, Linley's worried heart was at ease. Phew. Thank goodness, thank goodness. Knowing that the system didn't call him because of the little dragon, Lin Ray instantly relaxed. "Tell me, why are you looking for me?" Although it wasn't because of the little dragon, it was a miracle that the system could take the initiative to speak. "Xia Feng is about to be born. You have to cultivate quickly. If you want to conquer a creature that has survived since the beginning of time, then you have to be stronger than others. Otherwise, Xia Feng is about to be born? So soon." Lin Ray, who was already relaxed, was shocked when he heard the system's words. Previously, it said that Xia Feng was going to be born for a long time. Now it said that she was about to be born. Yes, because the seal's power is getting weaker and weaker, and Xia Feng's power is getting stronger and stronger. In the end, the enchantment won't be able to withstand it and will explode. Hearing this, Lin Ray became nervous. If Xia Feng was born, then everyone in the city would cease to exist. Not bad, you're right. Hearing the system say what he was thinking, suddenly, Lin Ray was dumbfounded. However, regarding the system's words, Lin Ray didn't interrupt. Instead, he listened carefully. If you are Xia Feng and have been suppressed for such a long time, what will the Almighty Seal do? Moreover, Xia Feng is going to be born in the 10,000 Li Sea of Fire. If Xia Feng is really born, then everyone here will be burned to ashes. In the end, not even ashes will be left. Hiss. When Xia Feng is angry, 10,000 Li Sea of Fire. Lin Ray was stunned by the system's description of Xia Feng. He was also shocked. 10,000 Li Sea of Fire. Even as a monarch god, he couldn't do that. At most, he could turn an area of 1,000 li into a sea of illusory spirit blood fire. Chapter 576. He didn't dare to imagine it. Linley didn't dare to imagine what it would be like when the demonic phoenix was born. When he thought of this, Linley couldn't help but shiver. "I know. Don't worry. I will cultivate as hard as I can during this period of time. I will strive to break through to the level where I can suppress Xia Feng." "Heh. I hope so." The system's reaction surprised Linley. He thought that the system would laugh at him, but he didn't expect that it would just let it go so easily. It was hard to imagine why the system's attitude towards him had changed so much. "Yes, it's the same for me. When the time comes, I will be able to break through to the level I want to register. However, I will still need your help. Although the Divine Emperor can fight against her, it will still be a little difficult. After all, that is only the strength of the physical body, not the cultivation." Hearing this, the system fell silent and did not say anything. Linley thought that this was impossible. Although there was a hint of disappointment in his eyes, he had already expected this. "Okay, I will help you. However, don't be in pain when the time comes. Of course, I will not be merciful to you like the little dragon. My training is very difficult. When the time comes, it will be too late to regret." "Really?" At this moment, Lin Ray was very surprised to see the old man in the air. His eyes were full of doubts. He had basically given up on the previous question. Who knew that the system would actually agree to his request? "Why? Are you not willing?" In response to Lin Ray's doubts, the system's cold and synthetic voice asked Lin Ray. No. No, no, no. Why would I not agree? I agree, I agree. You can train me however you want. As long as it can make me stronger, I will do it. Just like this, the two of them hit it off. Okay, you can go out and prepare. Your life will not be easy in the future. Of course, it is not too late to regret now. It will be too late when it really starts. Regarding this issue, Lin Ray's attitude was very firm. He would not regret this matter. He let himself be strong, not only for Xia Feng who was imprisoned by the enchantment underground, but more importantly, for the reincarnation mirror which was detained by the three ghost kings. And all of this effort was because of the dead Jin Ling and Jin En. For them, Lin Ray had to do this. No need. Since this is my decision, I will not change it. Don't worry, I will not back down from this matter. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't give the system a chance to speak. He left the system in a flash and returned to the barrier he had set up in reality. He opened his eyes and stood up with joy on his face. Then, he waved his hand and the formation disappeared. He sensed the ghostly aura outside. As the energy flowed into his body, Lin Ray felt indescribably comfortable. After looking around, Lin Ray walked towards his room. Along the way, he met many people. Everyone had a respectful expression on their faces. In contrast, Lin Ray did not say anything. At this time, Lin Ray came to the door of the room and felt the fluctuation of spiritual aura coming from the room. Lin Ray frowned because this spiritual aura was only at the foundation establishment stage. Feeling this, Lin Ray instantly released his divine sense and rushed into the room. He saw that it was his daughter, Lin Mei, who was sitting on the bed and cultivating. Feeling the aura on her body, a smile appeared on Lin Ray's face in an instant. It seems that it was the right choice to find her a master. With him here, I am really relieved. Speaking of this, Lin Ray transmitted his voice to Blood 15 in the room. 15, I am going to cultivate in seclusion for a while. I will leave the things here to you. Remember, if anyone makes trouble, just ignore them and kill them directly. Yes, I will do as you say. At this moment, 15, who was cultivating with his eyes closed in the room, heard Lin Ray's words and instantly opened his eyes. A bloody light rushed out in an instant. Then, he calmed down and responded to Lin Ray. Emin, since that's the case, I'll leave this place to you. I'll be leaving first. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't say anything more to 15. Then, he left and walked towards the place where he had gone into seclusion. The setting sun was infinitely good, but it was only waiting for dusk to arrive at the secluded cultivation area. He casually used a formation, and in an instant, it enveloped him. At this moment, when he was about to go into seclusion, a period of time when he used to be with Jin Ling, the only memories he left behind instantly appeared in his mind. When he met Jin Ling. Memories. Jia. The door was pushed open. A girl who was not particularly good-looking but could be considered strong and handsome walked in. She was very close in age and looked to be about 17 or 18 years old. The girl leisurely drove to Lin Ray's side. She placed the cup in her hand on a nearby tree stump and sat beside Lin Ray. Looking at the pale Lin Ray, the girl revealed a sorrowful expression and sighed. Sigh. When will you wake up? You've been in a coma for almost 3 months. Ever since you suddenly appeared in our village covered in blood, we thought you were a bad person. Later, no one cared where you lay for several days. Finally, when the village chief finally agreed to save you, he pulled you back. It's been 3 months and you haven't shown any reaction at all. I really don't know if you can still wake up. It turned out that after Lin Ray was hit by the last halo of light emitted by his companions, he lost consciousness and was directly sent to an isolated island in the depths of the Sea of Innocence by the teleportation formation. And on this isolated island, at some unknown point in time, people had been stationed here. Later on, they had formed a village and had lived there ever since. But suddenly, one day, a blood-soaked Linley had suddenly descended from the skies. When the villagers saw this, they all thought that he was a bad person, and so they didn't lend a helping hand. But a few days later, the oldest elder of the village finally couldn't help but rescue Linley and bring him back. After carrying Lin Ray to his room, the old man ordered his only granddaughter to help Lin Ray bathe and treat him. She served him for almost 3 months. During these 3 months, the girl came back every day to help Lin Ray wash his body and feed him medicine. As the saying goes, even a dog would develop feelings after 3 months of raising it, let alone a person. During these 3 months, the girl took care of Lin Ray meticulously. In the end, she imperceptibly fell in love with Lin Ray, who she had been taking care of all this time. In the neighboring 17 years of age, it was the time for a girl to choose a partner. Moreover, the girl had to help Lin Ray bathe every day. Tonight, when she was feeding Lin Ray medicine and bathing him again, the girl came to Lin Ray's room as promised. When she saw that Lin Ray was still unconscious, the girl could not help but sigh with emotion. Then, she began to bathe Lin Ray. Sigh. Little brother, do you know? This is the first time I've had a man other than my grandfather. I don't know when, but I started to worry about you. Slowly, I started to care about when you could wake up and talk to me. As the girl spoke, she carried Lin Ray to the bathing area. Then, she began to slowly take off Lin Ray's clothes and put Lin Ray in the bathwater. In these 3 months, the girl had done this countless times, so now the girl had become immune to it. Looking at Lin Ray lying in the bathwater, the girl took a piece of something that looked like a scrubber and rubbed it on Lin Ray's body. Her movements were very gentle, as if she had already used all her strength to hurt Lin Ray. Looking at Lin Ray lying in the water, the girl could not help but be stunned. Little brother, can you wake up? I really want you to talk to me. Who's talking? At this moment, Lin Ray was running around aimlessly in the misty space. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded in his ears. In an instant, Lin Ray was stunned. Gradually, Lin Ray uncontrollably returned to reality. He felt that his body was cold and he also felt a hand groping his body. In an instant, Lin Ray opened his eyes abruptly. Glancing around, Linley saw that in this unfamiliar environment, there was a woman who didn't seem to be in a good mood, but who had a pair of watery eyes. She was carefully wiping his body. Linley was stunned. Little brother, I really want to. Just as the girl was speaking to Linley, she raised her head and saw that the person who had been unconscious for a long time was staring at her with his eyes wide open. Instantly, the girl stood up, her face red with embarrassment, and ran outside, calling out to the people outside. Grandpa! Grandpa, come and take a look. The person you saved is awake. Grandpa! Grandpa, come and take a look. You saved. Looking at the girl who ran out, Lin Ray was stunned. At this moment, Lin Ray's mind was very fuzzy. After waking up, the first question he asked was, "Who am I?" Then, a lot of questions popped up. Who am I? Where am I? What happened to me? Where's my family? A series of questions appeared in the boy's mind, but he couldn't find an answer. In the end, Lin Ray couldn't figure it out, so he gave up. Little friend, how do you feel? Do you feel better? Just as Lin Ray was in a daze, a white-haired old man walked in from the door. When he saw that Lin Ray was really awake, some warm and considerate words blended into Lin Ray's heart. Old. Grandpa, I'm fine. It's just a little. Oh, what's wrong? Hearing Lin Ray's words, the old man quickly came forward and began to examine Lin Ray in all aspects. No. Actually, it's nothing. It's just that I don't seem to remember what happened before. Now, in my mind, there's nothing except for the girl beside you. I don't know if Grandpa knows where I'm from. Where is my home? Who is it? Ugh. This old man doesn't know either. When I saved you back then, you had nothing on you. Other than your body being covered in blood, you were also covered in wounds. However, when you were unconscious, those wounds healed on their own. Now, they are almost healed. It's just that you lost too much blood, so your body is a little weak. Oh, so that's the case. Originally, he thought that the old man who saved him might know his background. But now, it seemed that there was no hope. Thinking of this, Lin Ray's face showed a trace of disappointment. Well, since you don't remember who you are, why don't we just take things as they come? Since you don't have a name now, you don't have to follow mine. Anyway, you don't know who you are now, so I can't keep calling you little doll. Hee hee. Hearing the old man's explanation, Lin Ray nodded. After all, the old man was right. Since he didn't remember who he was, then it was better to live a good life here. Okay, then thank you, Grandpa. Hee hee, that's right. Since you agreed, then take this old man's surname. This old man's surname is Jean. Why don't you call yourself Jean Roy? Roy as in auspicious, okay? The old man's face was happy. Lin Ray didn't refuse and directly agreed. Okay, Grandpa, I will take your surname from now on. I will be called Jean Roy. Hee hee, why are you still calling me Grandpa? Since you already know my surname is Jean, why can't you call me Grandpa? After hearing the old man's words, Lin Ray helplessly shook his head and said with a smile, Hee hee, I can afford it, Grandpa. Hey, is that right? Ha ha ha, I also have a grandson. Let's see if this old man will still laugh at me in the future. When the old man finished speaking and saw Lin Ray, Jean Roy, again, he instantly became stupefied. At this time, Jean Roy had already fainted in the water. Ah, Brother Roy, what happened to Brother Roy? At this moment, the girl who was standing at the side hurriedly rushed over and helped Linley up, placing him on the bed. Grandpa. Grandpa, quickly take a look. What happened to Brother Roy? Why did he faint again? After helping Lin Ray to the bed, the girl hurriedly went to the old man's side and asked anxiously. Oh, Linger, look at you. When I was sick, why didn't you care about me like this? How long has this kid been here? Since you took care of him so meticulously, tell me, are you? Ah. Grandpa, don't talk nonsense. I was just following your order to take care of him. After saying that, she walked out. When she ran to the door, the girl couldn't help but shout to the old man, Grandpa, remember to take care of Brother Roy. It's late, I'm going to sleep. Her voice gradually disappeared. The old man looked at his granddaughter who ran out with a worried face. He went to Jean Roy's side to check if there was anything wrong with him and left. Sigh, the moment the door closed, Jean Roy, who was originally unconscious, woke up. Sigh. What the hell happened? Why can't I remember who I am? Who am I? At this time, as long as Jean Roy slept, the boy would have these questions lingering in his mind. Sigh. Forget it, maybe this is God's way of letting me relive it all over again? Maybe the memories from before weren't very good. After that, a feeling of exhaustion crept into his heart. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. This sleep was very sweet. It wasn't until noon the next day that Lin Ray woke up from his sleep. Lin Ray, who was lying on the bed, slowly opened his eyes. The old man was familiar with everything. Lin Ray knew that he was still in the old man's house. Sigh. With a sigh, Lin Ray prepared to get up. However, the girl from yesterday swaggered in, and Lin Ray realized that he wasn't wearing any clothes. You go out first, I'm not wearing any clothes. Jean Roy said to the girl embarrassedly. His face couldn't help but turn red. Thinking of this, Lin Ray was pulled back to reality from his memories. At this moment, Lin Ray's gaze was even more determined. He was even more determined to work hard to cultivate and save his wife and child. Then, he didn't think too much about it. With a thought, he instantly entered the system and began his devil training. Chapter 577. How Tion, just you wait. How many years has it been? I can't even remember. You've trapped me here and let me be baptized by the ghost Chi day and night. You wanted to wipe away my spirit. To think that I would have a descendant. At this moment, 10,000 meters under whose city, there was a huge space that was filled with flames. In the middle of the flames, a huge phoenix lay in the middle of the flames. Beside the phoenix was a huge egg that was more than 10 meters in size. Looking at the egg before her, the phoenix's face was filled with gentleness. But when she spoke of Hao Tian, she was filled with killing intent, as though she was happy to have him killed by mistake. My dear son, your mother is about to pass away. After being here for so long, you're the one I've been most worried about. If not for you back then, even if Qinglian were here, she wouldn't have been able to take advantage of me. With that, the phoenix's gigantic wings caressed the egg gently. Her movements were gentle, and she couldn't use too much strength. Wang, wang. As though it could sense the words of the phoenix, the egg resonated with her. Sensing this, a single drop of blood flowed out of the phoenix's eyes. My dear son, don't worry. Your mother has been here for such a long time. But you're different. You have a bright future waiting for you to squander away. You can't just stay here forever. I can sense that there's someone extremely strong above this place. And your mother can sense that there's a thick amount of chaos chi within his body. With that, the phoenix raised her head and looked up at the ceiling. Her voice was filled with excitement as she spoke to the egg. For someone to be able to absorb chaos chi at this time, he's definitely not someone to be trifled with. Even though your mother doesn't wish for you to be used by others, but someone like this will definitely be someone extraordinary in the future. Therefore, even if I have to risk my life, your mother will send you out. Just you wait. Your mother won't let you stay here forever. With that, the phoenix seemed to have come to life as she stood up. Her gigantic body brought along the flames around her. Instantly, balls of flames formed into a gigantic force that shot towards the surrounding walls. Bam! 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 Suddenly, a series of loud noises rang out. The moment the balls of flames collided with the surrounding walls, they exploded. By the time the flames disappeared, there were no signs of damage on the walls at all. And not even a trace was left behind. If Ruo Lin was here, he would definitely be very surprised. Just based on the bombardment that was casually created by the phoenix, he would not be able to withstand it. He would even be directly burned to ashes by this bombardment until there was not even a trace of him left. Humph, do you really think that this seal can seal me for long? Hao Tian, although you have already reached the saint level, you are still far from it. If it wasn't for that old bastard Hong Jun who helped you back then, do you think you could seal me so easily? After saying that, the evil phoenix's face was filled with murderous intent. Immediately after, a monstrous flame flapped its wings and a crescent-shaped attack shot out. It was as fast as lightning and as fast as thunder. In a flash, it struck the stone wall. With a loud bang, a mysterious rune appeared. The word seal appeared, and a mysterious light flowed on it. It was continuously dispelling the attack that the evil phoenix had just casually waved. Hee, seal? How long can you seal me for? Hong Jun has already given himself over to Tendo. He can't even control himself now. Why would he care about this? Even if I have to sacrifice my entire soul, I will break through this seal of yours. With that, crescent-shaped attacks shot out and landed on the stone wall densely. Rumble. Rumble, at this moment, in whose city, everyone was living a normal life. However, at this moment, the entire city began to shake violently. Each time it shook, the pattern of the shaking was different. Due to the intensity of the shaking, a few gigantic trenches appeared on the ground. Those who were unfortunate enough to build houses or people on the trenches were all trapped in the trenches at this moment. In contrast, when everyone saw this scene, they couldn't help but feel a wave of fear. Originally, they thought that this kind of shaking would stop after a period of time, but who would have thought that for 5 consecutive days, the shaking continued without stopping, day and night. In comparison, some people had already gone out to seek refuge. Finally, after 5 days, the shaking stopped. Those who had fled to seek refuge were notified that Lake City was fine, so they returned. But who would have thought that less than 3 days after the peaceful atmosphere, the shaking would appear again? Rumble, Kacha. Kacha, terrifying sounds rang out, and everyone was terrified. At that moment, in the Hu clan, Hu Bing felt the shaking of Lake City and the chasm that had appeared between it and the ground. Instantly, a look of shock appeared on his face. Instantly, Linley's words to him surfaced in his mind. No. Could it be that something happened to Xia Feng's power? If that's the case, then... Thinking of this, Hu Bing didn't wait. He released his cultivation and instantly rushed to the inn where Lin Rei was. The inn wasn't very far from the Hu family. Soon, he arrived at Yulai Inn. Excuse me, where is the residence of the senior? At this moment, when Xiaomi, who was busy, saw that it was Hu Bing, she didn't dare to delay and said, Master Hu, the senior is. Hearing Xiaomi's explanation, Hu Bing smiled at her. Then, he used his cultivation and instantly appeared at Lin Rei's residence. Plop. Hu Bing arrived at Lin Rei's house. He felt that other places were shaking, but his father was completely fine. In comparison, Hu Bing saw hope. He immediately knelt on the ground and begged the room. Senior, please save Hu City. This is the place where we were born and where we were born. This place can't be destroyed. Senior, please save Hu City. At this moment, Blood 15, who was cultivating in the room, frowned when he heard that someone was disturbing his peace. He looked at the door with a murderous look. As for Hu Bing, when he saw that no one in the room responded, he shouted again, Senior, I beg you. Although I usually do a lot of evil, as a member of Hu City, I definitely can't watch Hu City be destroyed like this. I beg you. Disturbing someone's cultivation. Do you know that this is a taboo? Aren't you afraid that I'll kill you? At this moment, Blood 15, who was in the room, couldn't stand the person outside anymore. He snorted coldly, stood up, and shouted angrily at the person outside. You are. Hearing the voice, Hu Bing, who felt that something was wrong, looked up. When he saw that the person standing at the door wasn't the senior from before, he was stunned. You don't need to know. You only need to know that you're in trouble again. How dare you disturb me when I'm cultivating? Tell me, how do you want to die? Hearing this, Hu Bing's body trembled. Just a moment ago, he felt the killing intent from the mysterious person in front of him. Hu Bing immediately knew that the person in front of him was no ordinary person. Senior, what happened just now was purely unintentional. The situation was urgent and this junior couldn't wait any longer. Hearing this, Blood 15 looked up and released his divine sense. When he sensed the situation in Hu City, his brows furrowed. How can this be? There's such a large area of destruction, but I can't sense the aura of the person who did it. Why? Although he didn't know why, Blood 15 frowned. It seems that I can help. After all, the young master is still in seclusion. As for where he's in seclusion, I don't know. It wouldn't be good if the shaking in the city disturbed the young master. With that thought, Blood 15 glanced at Hu Bing. With a wave of his hand, he set up a powerful restriction on the room. Although he couldn't be sure that the restriction would last forever, at the very least, it wouldn't break for a while. Hurry up and leave. With that, Blood 15's body disappeared. When he reappeared, he was in the air above the center of Hu City. Blood 15 stood in the air and looked down at the shaking Hu City. At this moment, there were many large cracks in the city and it looked very dilapidated. Sigh. Seeing this, Blood 15 sighed and stretched out his hand. He instantly used his peak late-stage Divine Lord strength, and a large amount of spirit energy enveloped the entire Hu city. He began to use his own spirit energy to maintain the city. Rumble. 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 Inside, Blood 15 found that his spirit energy couldn't withstand the shaking at all. He looked into the distance and saw the restriction he had set up with his spirit energy slowly shatter. His brows furrowed. How can this be? What kind of power is this for it to have such great power? At this moment, when he felt that there was nothing he could do, Blood 15 began to pray that Lin Ray would quickly wake up from his seclusion. Once again, Blood 15 tried to use his spirit energy to stabilize Hu city. Although he could only hold it for a while, at least he wouldn't have to worry about it for a while. What he didn't know was that in the depths of the underground, Xia Feng had gone crazy for her child. Crazy bombardment had become a habit. Haha. A puny little Divine Lord Realm brat actually wants to protect the city that was established above. That's simply a fool's dream. At this moment, Xia Feng's spirit energy could see what Blood 15 was doing in the air. She immediately felt disdain for his actions. Pfft! At this moment, Blood 15, who was in the air, came out of his mouth and his face turned pale. Humph, I'm here. Don't you dare harm this city, at least not now. With that, Blood 15 gave up on using his spirit energy. Then, he put his palms together and mysterious red runes appeared instantly. Slowly, the ghostly aura in the air began to distort. Not only that, the ghostly aura within 1,000 miles began to gather toward Blood 15. Ha! Suddenly, 15 yelled, and the seal in his hands suddenly changed. Blood God. The moment he said that, Blood 15 spat out from his mouth. At this moment, a strange scene appeared. The blood that Blood 15 recognized floated in the air. At this moment, the blood floating in the air began to turn into droplets of blood and dispersed instantly. What? How is this possible? At this moment, Xia Feng's spirit energy informed her of the spell that Blood 15 used. Her eyes were filled with disbelief and shock. Blood Styx's spell. This person, who is this person? Why does he have Blood Styx's spell? Thinking of this, Xia Feng was puzzled. At this moment, Xia Feng's bombardment began to slow down. No, that's not right. Although it's Blood Styx's spell, his cultivation level is far from that bastard's. Speaking of this, Xia Feng used her spirit energy and sent a message to Blood 15's ears. Instantly, Xia Feng's voice exploded. Who are you? Why do you use that bastard spell? Blood God, how do you know how to use it? Hearing this voice, Blood 15's spirit energy instantly tensed up and began to scan the surroundings to find the person who spoke. However, it was a pity that he couldn't find him. You don't have to look for me. You just have to tell me how you know Blood Styx's spell. If you tell me, I'll let you go today. Otherwise, even if Blood Styx comes, I'll try my best to kill you. Hearing this, Blood 15's face turned serious. Blood Styx is the ancestor and I'm from the Azura clan. Blood God was taught to us by the ancestor. However, because our cultivation was sealed by a mysterious power for some reason, we're only at the monarch god level now. With the return of our power, our memories are also slowly coming back. Xia Feng's expression eased a little when she heard this. However, she was very curious about Blood 15's power being sealed. However, when she saw Blood 15's blank face, she didn't ask anymore. Alright, if that's the case, then retreat. We can't keep this city any longer. It will soon turn into a pile of rubble. Moreover, don't you Azura people view human lives as worthless? What's wrong? Have you changed your attitude today? Although Blood 15 didn't know who the person who spoke was, he knew that this person was still from the same era as him. However, Blood 15 still refused her request. After all, his master, Lin Ray, was still cultivating in seclusion here. I'm sorry, Senior. I can't comply with your request. My young master is cultivating in seclusion here and I have to protect his safety. How about this, after my young master comes out, you can destroy this place. At that time, I won't stop you. Oh. Your young master. Hearing this, Xia Feng's interest was piqued. Even so, she didn't attack. Who is your young master? To be able to make the bloodthirsty Azura clan of the Eldritch era recognize him as their master, I really want to meet him. Hearing this, Blood 15's expression didn't change. He said with his usual cold face, since Senior says so, why don't we wait for a day? Chapter 578. Humph. Who do you think you are? Even if that Bast *RD Mingi is here, he wouldn't dare to make me wait. Do you think that's possible? After saying that, the evil phoenix in the depths of the ground began to attack the barrier around them again. Rumble. Rumble, accompanied by a series of earthquakes, the houses in Lake City began to collapse on a large scale. Ah. God, how can you be so cruel? My baby died so tragically. Ah. In an instant, the entire Lake City was filled with wails of agony and resentment. Gazing at the people in the Lake City, 15's eyes were still as cold as ever. However, there was a trace of worry in her eyes. Young master, hurry up and come over. This place is about to collapse. In the western region of the divine world, in a restaurant named Sky Stir Fry in Lotus Sky City, Lin Rei's clone, Sakura, was seated at a table by the window. At this moment, his face was no longer revealed. Instead, it was a face that was identical to Lin Rei's. He wore a gentle smile and looked completely different from the mask he wore when he was an assassin. Moreover, the current Sakura was dressed in scholarly attire and looked extremely refined. At the two tables beside him, 7 people in black clothes were eating and drinking with ice-cold expressions. Of course, it was obvious that they were the 7 Azuras that Lin Rei had sent to protect Sakura. Sigh. Where exactly are you? I've been searching for you for so many years and there's no news of you at all. I didn't even hear your name. What exactly are you doing? Sakura looked at the sky outside the window worriedly. He was worried that Lin Rei's purple blood would be exposed. He was afraid that everything would happen. Similarly, he was worried that the people from Heaven and Earth Sect would come looking for him. He had also learned a lot during this period of time. Heaven and Earth Sect had been passed down from the upper world. It was imaginable how powerful they were. Putting everything else aside, just the God transformation alone was already uncountable. As for the God Emperor transformation, after such a long period of accumulation, there was no need to even think about it. Sigh. Sir, these are the dishes and wine you ordered. I've served everything. Please enjoy. I'll take my leave first. Just as Sakura was worried, the waiter's voice pulled him back to reality. Okay. Go ahead. Sakura looked at the waiter and the table full of dishes and wine in front of him and smiled. Then, he waved his hand and dismissed the waiter. Gulp. Gulp. The moment the waiter left, Sakura grabbed the wine jug and poured the wine into his mouth. Instantly, a spicy feeling. Is *SS is *sing *SS phew, good wine. Is **, Sakura is *, Sakura **, Sakura **, Sakura **, Sakura **, Sakura, Sakura, Sakura asterisk 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 Sakura asterisk asterisk Sakura Sakura, Sakura Sakura Sakura, Sakura Sakura Sakura, Sakura be Sakura, that's really strange. After living in the divine realm for so many years, I've never seen a sect with such a pattern. Not only that, the moment they entered, Sakura Tianchao felt that they were extraordinary. Not only because of their temperament, but also because they were all wearing divine weapons. Of course, 3 of the women were wearing divine weapons. As for the man who followed them, he was like a servant, not daring to make a sound. Since when did the divine sect have so many divine emperors? How strange that we can run into them in such a small city. As a divine lord, he could sense the auras of these 4 people the moment they entered. Of course, that man's cultivation was a bit stronger. He was at the middle stage of the divine lord realm. Miss, why don't we leave? If we suddenly leave, the continent lord will know. He'll definitely be unhappy. At this moment, seeing that all the places in the restaurant were filled with people, the man standing behind the 3 women pleaded with a troubled expression. I'm not going back. So what if he's unhappy? No matter what happens today, I'm not going back. After being born for so long, this is the first time I've been here to play. You have to think about it. You can leave by yourself. As he spoke, the woman who spoke. Similarly, Indra could see that this woman had the best status among them. She looked around and at this moment, she saw Sakura, who was sitting by the window and eating alone at a big table. Instantly, the woman's face lit up, and without waiting for the waiter to come forward, she went to the front of Sakura on her own. Sensing that someone was coming, Sakura Tianchao raised his head and looked at that person without saying a word. He wanted to see what kind of trick they were playing. Young master, we are new here. Would it be possible for us to share a table with you? However, the moment the woman said that, the Shura man who was eating at the side stood up immediately and looked at the 4 people with vigilance. Feeling the powerful energy locking onto him, the man frowned. How is this possible? These people are not inferior to me at all. Moreover, there are people who are stronger than me. Who is this young man? Not only the man sensed it, even Sakura Tianchao didn't expect it. Immediately, he told the Shura man to sit down again. After doing all this, Sakura Tianchao raised his head and looked at the woman. Perhaps curiosity won over reason. Sakura Tianchao nodded and said, you all sit down. Hearing this sentence, the 4 people sat down without saying anything. The woman who had the most right to speak picked up the chopsticks on the table and began to eat. Wow, this is so delicious. While eating, she couldn't help but praise it again and again. In contrast, the curiosity in Sakura Tianchao's eyes was even stronger. Nyo, you eat too. This thing is especially delicious. It's much more delicious than the things in our place. If I knew it would be like this, I would have come out 3,000 years ago. 3,000 years. Listening to the woman's words, Sakura Tianchao couldn't help but swallow his saliva and sweat broke out on his forehead. Thinking about himself, since he was created by the deity until now, it was at most 400 or 500 years. Got it. The other woman also moved her chopsticks. She picked up a piece of meat and put it in her mouth. After chewing twice, her closed eyes suddenly startled and her eyes sparkled. Wow, it's really delicious. Tuan, try it. This thing is really like what Mu Ling said. It's so delicious. Looking at their appearance, Sakura Tianchao really began to suspect whether they were barbarians or not. The food on the table in front of him was abundant in every city. Looking at them eating, Sakura Tianchao suddenly felt that the scene was very warm. The feeling of loneliness from before was gone. Then, he chuckled and began to eat. Although his ears suffered a bit during the process, his heart began to silently accept such an environment. He accepted the noise of the 3 women. However, that man was staring at the Shura people on the other 2 tables. Regarding this, Sakura Tianchao was also very helpless. Oh, by the way, this lady, the clothes you're wearing are very unique and exquisite. But my eyes are clumsy, I really can't tell which sect you're from. Finally, the curious thing in his heart was spoken out at this moment. Suddenly, his heart felt much better. Hearing Sakura Tianchao's words, the man of the 3 women stopped eating and then looked at Sakura Tianchao with vigilance. Looking at their appearance, Sakura Tianchao's expression became awkward. He didn't expect such an ending. In order to not let them misunderstand, Sakura Tianqiao hurriedly explained, "Don't misunderstand, I'm just very curious. Not to mention that I've seen the clothes of all the major sects in the God realm, but this is the first time I've seen your clothes. Moreover, this kind of clothes doesn't exist in the God realm." Although Sakura Tianqiao explained, the four people did not let down their vigilance. Seeing that they didn't intend to answer, Sakura Tianqiao hurriedly suppressed the curiosity in his heart. Okay. Since you don't want to say, then forget it. Anyway, I'm just saying it on a whim. With that, Sakura Tianqiao stood up and prepared to leave. But at this moment, just as Sakura Tianqiao stood up, a piece of news that surprised him came from the other table. "Hey, bro, have you heard? I heard that the most mysterious great Zhou of the 9th continent has appeared." "What? The 9th continent has appeared? How is that possible? Hasn't that Dazhou always stayed out of it?" "Sigh, I don't know about that. I only know that not long ago, the most mysterious barrier of the 9th continent suddenly loosened. It was originally a simple accident, but who knew that not long after, the barrier suddenly broke and the 9th continent appeared in front of the public." Hearing this news, Sakura Tianqiao, who had stood up, sat down again and focused his attention on what they were saying. "The 9th continent has appeared. With such a big matter, I believe that with the host's personality, he should go back, right?" At this moment, what Sakura Tianqiao wanted to say was nothing else. It was not the treasures of the 9th continent, nor was it the mystery of the 9th continent. Instead, it was the appearance of the 9th continent that could attract Lin Rei's attention and allow him to find him. Thinking of this, it was extremely possible. Then, Sakura Tianqiao instructed the Azura clan member beside him, Go to the 9th continent and guard it. Find that person. Then, use the talisman to inform me." "Yes, your subordinate will do it now." The Azura clan member who received the order nodded and instantly disappeared from the restaurant. Hiss, sensing the aura of the Azura clan member, the man who came with the three women suddenly let out a breath of cold air. His eyes were filled with shock. This kind of strength. I'm afraid even a mid-stage god emperor doesn't have it. He's only a mid-stage divine lord, yet he already has such a powerful strength. If it was me, Sakura Tianqiao did not know what the man was thinking. Of course. Even if he knew, he would not care about him. At this moment, when the three women heard that the 9th continent's barrier had been broken and that it had appeared in the world, their expressions became nervous. "What should we do, Mu Ling? Could this be the result of us using our clan's treasure and then completing it?" "Aya, it's fine. If the barrier is broken, then it's broken. What's so good about hiding in the 9th continent? Look, there's food and play here. It's much better than the 9th continent. Anyway, I won't go back. I want to stay here, eat good food, and have fun." Hearing Mu Ling's words, the two women immediately rolled their eyes at him. Then, they looked at him with a look of admiration. Sakura Tianqiao could only see the flirting between the three of them, but he did not care because of the comparison. After all, he did not know them. They were just making do at the table. "Scram, can't you see that my young master is going over? Do you want it or not? Do you want to die?" At this moment, just as everyone at the table was making their own wishful thinking, a discordant voice came from outside the window. After hearing this, Sakura Tianqiao frowned. Wow, he knew that someone was disturbing his meal. He then turned his head to look out the window and saw more than 10 people driving the crowd on the street to both sides of the road. Looking at this scene, the taxi driver was very interested. He wanted to know what kind of people they were. They would actually bully others like this. Who are you? Aren't you just a second-generation hedonistic son? Besides, this is a path for everyone to walk, not just you. Don't you think you're going too far? Just as Sakura Tianqiao thought that everyone was silent, a person suddenly jumped out and spoke to them in a deep voice. "Oh, is that so? I am a disciple of the Ninth Continent's Danzong Sect. This is the son of my Danzong Sect's ninth elder. Su Ru, do you think you have the qualifications to be compared to my young master? Ninth Continent? Hearing the words of the person outside, Sakura Tianxiao's interest was piqued. He had just heard that the Ninth Continent's barrier had been broken, and not long after he finished listening, the son of the ninth elder of the Danzong Sect walked out. This plot was too melodramatic. What, the Ninth Continent? When the man who had just jumped out to criticize heard the name of the Ninth Continent, his legs went soft and he retreated backwards. His eyes were filled with fear. It was obvious that he was afraid. In everyone's hearts, the Ninth Continent was an extremely mysterious and terrifying place. According to the Forbidden Area, the Ninth Continent was undoubtedly the largest and most terrifying place in the God realm. No one was willing to enter this place, so when they heard the name of the Ninth Continent, the cultivators of the God realm felt a sense of fear in their hearts. Ha ha ha, when the person called Su Ru saw the man like this, he immediately burst into laughter. His eyes were filled with disdain as he swept his gaze across his surroundings in disgust. How could it be him? At this moment, when Mu Ling, who was sitting with Sakura Tianxiao, saw Su Ru, his pupils were startled and his expression was somewhat stunned. At this moment, he truly realized that what he had heard just now was true and not a joke. At this moment, none of them noticed that Sakura Tianxiao's face had gradually darkened. The refined aura from before had completely disappeared. You're tuning into the A Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.